the money. I mean, I don't even know what you do. They're not going to take it back now. And there's no diminished value. It's a totaled wreck. They fixed it. Will it be worth less? Yeah, it will be. But
the nice thing about it to Toyota, so you'll get
yeah.
a lot more than you would if you had a domestic vehicle. Those Toyotas will have the prestige behind them. So,
David, we're going to take your call next. You said that you took your Jeep in and you weren't happy with the service. Is that right?
Yes, I took my Jeep to Midas in August of 2018 to get a heater core replaced.
In 2018, okay.
In August of 2018, yes. And this past week, my heater went out in my Jeep, and I assumed that it was going to be under warranty for a 2-year parts warranty through the dealership. However, the catch is I was at Midas, and Midas didn't complete the work properly, and they even refunded me 100%, and they took responsibility for not.
How much? Okay, how much did they refund you?
About $1,300.
So they did $1,300. Did they do $1,300 worth of work and then refunded the money?
Yes, they did, and then they refunded the money because it wasn't installed correctly, and they recommended me take it to Jeep, which I sent over the service notes for.
And you did. Hold on. You took it to. Did you take it to Jeep after Midas?
After Midas, Jeep had the vehicle. Yes.
All right. Hold on. We'll be right back with this.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Yeah, so they originally estimated 8,000. That's why they went in total.
This report is sponsored by
he got into it. That's
yeah, they got into it exactly.
I am surprised though. The mechanic, I mean,
Quick available better.
Yeah, it was total. Hey, listen, I'm gonna push you for a new car. That's typical.
Right, right, because they ended up spending $4,000 more than what they brought in. $4 or $5,000.
Really treacherous in Wheat Ridge, Kipling,
so they had a bad estimator or something.
38th and 32nd, and in the high country, I-70 westbound closed from the Hog Bank and Morrison all the way to the tunnel. Snow continues today and tonight, another 3 to 5.
I don't know what this guy's going to complain about. I have no idea.
The overnight low, it's 23 in Denver now. With your impact traffic and weather, Dave Hunter, 630 KHOW.
You only want to use the best route to drive across town, so do the same when you need to hire. Indeed provides hiring managers. You been on the Denver trial? Boys, customized solutions like screener questions and skills tests will help you see beyond the resume. Post your next job
when we have many DenverTrialLawyers.com. That's the website. The firm is well known for multi-million-dollar judgments, adjudications by judges, decisions by juries, and settlements into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Here's the message they have. If you have a catastrophic injury, they take it seriously. Call them, ask them, get advice, and then decide if you want to move on, and they'll decide too, because they only take the specific cases that are difficult for everyone else. And you'll know it. You know, just call them to find out. 303-571-5302, DenverTrialLawyers.com.
So Jeff, I'll give you an update on what happened there. So we took it to a Midas, and they were supposed to do something with the heater core or whatever. They couldn't get it back together. They said, hey, we'll put it back together. We won't charge you anything. To take it to the Jeep place. So he took it to the Jeep place. And then you see there's 2 dates.
2 dates, so August and September.
Right. So here it is. And so they did charge him as far as for doing some stuff on there. And then when he went back and it still wasn't working, they said, hey, we don't work on... You know, here they found there was nothing wrong.
Yeah, they said
switch. And then now a year later, it's not working. They said, well, that's not nothing that we did.
Is it aftermarket radiator?
No, heater core.
Heater core, yeah.
Okay.
And he's got fluid in it, enough fluid in it and everything. He even says would there be an air bubble in it and stuff that or whatever. He doesn't know. But it was working, and now it's not. But he says they won't even do anything with it because he said, take it back to Midas.
But Midas never charged them. Midas refunded them. And Midas isn't interested in looking at it because we already fucked it up once. Right?
Midas said that, yeah. Right. And then this is where they charge. That's where they charge as far as for working on the heater stuff.
Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756 for terms and conditions. Call 844.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like they did a whole lot there. They just finished what was originally started.
Hi, I'm Inc. Magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen.
What did
So
they
they didn't do the installation. They completed it where Midas couldn't figure out what they were doing.
Right.
What did they charge?
$165.
Just labor.
Hey, Mark called from yesterday. He said thank you for spending the day with him and
So
putting up with him.
I don't think he would go
Yeah, I
back.
tried to get him to
don't
come
know.
on
I don't
air to
know.
say it, and there's not a time for me to really fit it
They
in.
didn't want to-
So
they didn't
I
want
just
to
wanted to
come
let
in.
you know he took the time to call and thank
Hey,
you.
great.
Well, then don't go there.
Great.
Who was that?
Then don't go there. Go somewhere
The old man?
Yeah, an older gentleman that he spent all day yesterday with.
I know.
You know him? Do you know?
The guy that got fucked royally.
Oh, is that the one that had like the $8,000 worth of add-ons?
Yeah,
to it?
I think that's what he was talking
Oh,
about.
the older guy. Not only 8,000, just his traded vehicle, we gave him half what it was worth.
No, this is not the same guy.
Oh, this isn't the older guy.
This
Okay.
is an older guy, but I must have spent probably 5 hours.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, there's an 83-year-old guy that they put $8,000 worth of add-on into a new car, and it's one of those pickups that they kind of got that slope to them. They brought them.
The Honda?
Ridgeline?
Right, Ridgeline. He traded in a 2007 with very low mileage.
Oh, they get it.
And so he only got half the value of the trade-in on that. Plus they added like $8,000 of mop and go to it. And he's 83 years old.
Well, at 83, you shouldn't walk into a brothel like that. You're gonna get screwed.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Ridgelines are gold.
Right,
Actually.
right. And I said, hey, I told him, I said, I'll give you $7,000 right now for your old Ridgeline. They gave him $5,000 worth for trade-in, and just some trade-in value on Kelly Blue Book is worth like $95. Trade-in.
Really? For an 07?
For an 07, 40,000 miles.
Oh, there's your money right there. There's your money.
And I'll bet you, I don't know that. I mean, they're older people. It's probably immaculate condition. You know, it's
a few diapers in the back's about it.
Jeff, we don't go there anymore.
What do you think of that car, Jeff? Mechanical.
Ridgeline? We don't see a whole lot of them. They're a pretty rigid truck.
Okay.
Why did they quit making them? They were extremely
They were trying to bring them up to date, and this new one is kind of an ugly truck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it just looks like a real. It looks like a kid drew a truck on a.
Nothing special, no eyeballs. If you're looking at any one of the trucks that are out there, just pick the other ones over the Honda, other than the name. You know what I mean?
They modeled it after an S10 or a Ranger, but they've missed targets.
What is your guys' feelings on Jeep Renegades?
Well, there's also
What year? 14?
2017.
They're okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Renew Home Innovations for awe-inspiring bathrooms. I mean bathrooms that make you go, wow. RenewHomeInnovations.com. RenewHomeInnovations.com. They use Kohler products, and they have something called a choreographed shower that you design for your movements. Now, if you don't want to go so custom, you can do, they have good, better, and best. You can go in their modern, their median grade, which is beautiful. But if you're going to keep the home a while, this choreographed shower is unbelievable. 303-904-2000. You know, a lot of people say, you know, I'll just do the bath along with the kitchen. They get somebody to do everything, and it's good sometimes to have specialists that do one thing and do it so well. RenewHomeInnovations.com. So, all right. So, David has a Jeep. He took, I'm thinking he took to Midas, and they did some work on it. Was the Jeep under warranty when you took it there to Midas?
No, and that's the reason I went to Midas. It was just a cheaper alternative than going to the dealership.
And they said you needed a heater core.
It was a replacement of the heater core, correct. And
but how'd they botch it up? How'd they botch it up?
When they were removing the dash pieces, they broke the dash, like the clips that hold the dash in the place, and then the knobs on the heater. If you were to turn on the feet, the defrost would come on. If you turn on the defrost, the heater would come on.
No, but
so
was the heater core left there, or did they take it back?
It was actually installed in my vehicle, and I left Midas with the heater core installed in my vehicle for Jeep to inspect their work.
Okay, but here's what I'm wondering. They refunded the $1,300. You got to keep the heater core. So here, was the $1,300 enough to fix their screw-ups?
I believe the invoice by Jeep came out to be $700. However, they never applied any labor hours to even looking at the heater core, and they don't have any acknowledgement of even doing any work to the heater core at all. So I don't know what I exactly even paid for, and who's going to warranty the part 2 years later now that it's out, if anybody.
Well, no one will. I mean, Jeep didn't take on the responsibility of that heater core. All Jeep did was fix the clips and all the dealer stuff. That's all they did. They charge you $700 just to keep it all back together. The actual heater core they left in place, and they probably assumed that that wasn't the problem. The problem was the cosmetic stuff around it or the installation around it. So it's very clear to me that Midas did the heater core. I don't know if they did it right or if it was a defective heater core, but they did it. And then all Jeep did was fixed what they broke during the installation. So now you're looking at a couple years later, the heater core is out. Jeep owes you nothing. Nothing. Zero. Okay. But I would go back to Midas. However, if there was no warranty on that heater core, my question is, did they even replace it? What did they actually do? But it's kind of late to try to go back and figure it out.
Yeah, I understand that. One thing that really disappointed me, though, with Jeep was they didn't replace my vehicle with new parts. They replaced it with old parts, not OEM Jeep parts.
What do you mean? Wait, when you went to Jeep to get your clips fixed,
I had to get a center console, a new center console that cost about $400 plus labor,
okay,
or $200 plus labor.
I get it. And they did a used one instead of a new one.
Correct, but it seems like one, I paid for an inspection of the vehicle, and that's what the multi-point inspection was on the vehicle, and then on line A it said that I requested the heater core to be inspected, and then also the brake switch that was broken by Midas to be inspected.
Well, maybe they did inspect the heater core. That doesn't mean it's going to last. I mean, David, are you saying that because you went to Jeep afterwards, they're responsible for the heater core now failing?
I'm trying to figure out if anybody can be responsible for the heater core, to be honest.
Well, if Midas did it and there was a warranty on it, they're responsible. If they didn't warranty it, I'd still be pissed at them if it only lasted a year and a half. I'd be really mad at them. But Jeep has nothing to do with this. Now you're trying to – here's what it sounds like to me. Now you're trying to nitpick what Jeep did a year later. I mean, you're saying that Jeep put in a used console. Why didn't you complain about it back when they did it?
Honestly, I didn't really notice it until looking further.
Well, tell me what that has to do with. Well, okay, what does this used console have to do with the heater core?
The used console was, it was a replacement for what Midas had broken.
That's right.
I was expecting a new piece.
But you didn't get a new piece,
and I got a used piece because I saw a sticker marks of where stickers were removed,
David,
like a
here's
a state sticker. Or
what
something.
does that have to do with anything? You were happy with it until you heard your heater core went out. Now you're complaining about the console that you lived with for a year and a half. I'm just trying to understand you, David. Are you complaining about the heater core?
If there is anything, yeah, the heater core, because it's out, obviously, now 2 years later.
But now you're going back. You're going back 2 years. But you're going back 2 years, saying now, come to think of it, I'm not happy that I got used parts.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of that, looking at it that way. But I just don't know who to go to, if it would be Midas, if it would have been Jeep. Because
okay, it's Midas. Jeep didn't install it. And just because you said to inspect it, they probably just looked to see it was installed.
Yeah, but if Midas gave him back all his money, there's going to be no warranty. He's got no ticket with him. There's no warranty there anyway.
I know. I mean,
exactly. You know, if you're not happy with Midas, you're not happy with Jeep. You need to find another person you're happy with. You need to actually find a mechanic you're going to get your general repair work done, your maintenance done. Develop a relationship so these things don't happen.
Here's the good part.
Perfect.
Here's the good part. You paid $700 to fix their screw up. So you are $600 still to the good right now. $600. Can he get a heater core done at a proper shop for $600?
Not from a good, decent shop.
How much would it cost?
You know, rough guesstimate, he's probably looking roughly around $1,000 to $1,100. You have to pull that whole dash out.
So his net loss is going to be about $500 to $600. His net loss.
Okay.
I mean, and that's what, if you are going to complain, that's what you complain about.
No, in a car out of warranty, I mean, I'm not going to complain over the $500. I just didn't know. Honestly,
I would go to Midas anyway. I would go to Midas anyway, and I'd say, you know what, this was replaced a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's out. Is that common? Can you guys do anything at all? Although, remember, they did refund you. But here's how you calculate it. Your net loss is $500. Why would a heater core go out after?
I don't know. Well, see, he keeps saying heater core, but everything here is talking about the switches. So where his actual failure is, I don't know. But is it possible? Sure. Just maybe they used an inferior part.
For those switches there, and like I say, is it even the heater core?
Is it even the heater core?
He hasn't went to anybody to even see that.
Yeah, because the complaint here said he wasn't switching between the defrost and the foot heaters. Right. But according to AutoNation, yes, it is. It's working just fine.
Right.
If they see, come to think of it, he doesn't have a net loss because he didn't pay for anything.
No. He was talking about an $800 ticket, but that $800 ticket.
Isn't that a bitch? Somebody comes to you and says, "Can you help me? I got fucked up at the Jeep or at this place," and they help, and then he wants to go after him.
Yeah.
And then he starts complaining about, come to think of it, I got used parts. See, that's how people are. They start thinking about fucking grabbing on straws.
Oh, that.
Well, and the center console, Midas paid for it, not him.
What is it? Fix it. Fix it 24/7. FixMyHome.com is that website. Free second opinions on any major repair. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Yes, free second opinions, and especially with furnaces. If someone tells you you need a new furnace, they'll tell you the truth. Sometimes it turns out you only need an adjustment or a gas valve or a thermocouple in most cases. But if you do need a new furnace, let them take a shot at your business with $750 off. What I love about second opinions, money doesn't lie, skill doesn't lie. They have to fix it or not, right? FixMyHome.com.
Yeah, but Midas paid for that center console. He didn't pay for that center console.
Midas didn't pay for it because he paid for it on that center console.
Well, then why would he? If they screwed it up, why did he pay for it at all?
Because they said, well, we'll let you just have the heater core and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, they gave him $1,300.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so you got $1,300 worth of work. We screwed up.
Right.
You got to eat the rest of it.
Right.
Well,
what they said, they said we're going to give the money back because we screwed up the dash. We didn't screw up. They didn't say they screwed up the heater core.
Right.
No.
Right.
No, but if they
But there's no heater core on that invoice.
Just they worked on it a little bit.
No,
right?
yeah, they worked on it. They finished the assembly. They already had it in the car, but they'd screwed up the clips on the dash. They had done some sort of damage to the console or whatever when they took it apart. That's why he got a replacement console. So, I mean, I don't know why he paid for the console. But
it was out of the 1,300.
Right.
Okay, well, I guess.
As
Sure.
Midas
Well,
said,
yeah, that makes okay.
Midas just said, "Hey, we'll just give you everything that we got. Go get it."
Right.
You know.
Go get it fixed.
But I mean, you had a used console before. What does the hell
I
does
know.
it different make?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You had a used console, you still do. You know, it's like cutting in line. Hey, excuse me, sir, I was next, and you still are.
I didn't even think of that, but you're right. You're exactly right. You have used console.
Well, that's why I tell people all the time. Well, what about a used transmission? You already got one used one. What do you need another one for?
Yeah. But like I say, he needs to take it to somebody to see if that's what it is.
Well, and you know, if he had a relationship with somebody, I mean, first of all, he's shopping service the wrong flipping way. People complain all the time. They shop here, they shop there. Well, I'm just trying to find a better price. You're not buying a Sony flipping flat screen that makes no difference if you bought it from freaking Best Buy or from Sears or from whomever sells the Sony TVs. You are buying service.
I'll tell you what, if you stay with a shop, you do get better, as long as it's a good shop. They'll give you a little, okay, we'll leave it.
Yeah, but pricing aside, yeah, I mean, obviously pricing, you have to consider your budget, all right? But if, you know, if cheap work's no good and good work's not cheap. No two ways about it. So, you know, I go to the guy who's working in his backyard underneath the tree, and sure, he did it for $50.
Hopefully you don't have to go to anything, except for maintenance.
Got news for you.
I got news for you.
It's a
Let me
mechanical.
tell you, I ain't kidding. I had a 95 Maxima. That was the best car. 212,000 miles on it. Maybe burned a half a quart between oil changes.
I had literally, I picked up, and it was for $50. I picked up a Ford Escort, a 1987 Ford Escort. It was bare bones, 4-speed. The driver's door was damaged, so you had to get in and out the passenger door. So we actually took the seat out so you could crawl back and forth. So you couldn't open up the rear hatch. But you didn't bother changing the oil itself because it burned enough oil. We just put a new filter on from time to time.
Where did you do that?
But you couldn't kill that car. You could not kill that flipping car.
Why? This is funny why it happens like that. I'm sure we're in high school, right, when you got that?
No, actually I was not.
Oh, really?
No, I picked it up as a cheap go-between because the guy says, "I'll give it you $50." Sure, why not? Thing got great gas mileage, terrible freaking oil mileage. But aside from that thing
You
was
gave
great.
it to the wife.
I gave it to my little brother. He drove it for 2 years, and he finally killed it driving out to Salt Lake because he forgot to make sure to keep putting oil in the car.
Oh,
so,
that'll do it.
yeah.
You need somewhat.
It was somewhere around Green River when that thing took a dump.
Geez, I know people way back then, they used to, when it burned oil like that, they just used to get used oil and put it in there.
He asked me what to do about it, and I said, "Brad, take the license plates off of it and stick your thumb out the frickin' door. Leave it there. It's $50."
Scrape off the pin number.
Yeah, just walk away, man. Leave it there. It'll end up in somebody's wash as for, you know,
Scrap.
to keep the water from draining out their fields. We'll just dump it in the field someplace.
Yeah, no. Except for nowadays, everything's so damn expensive. So, I mean, a regular guy can't work on a car.
Getting pretty sophisticated now.
Well, and even now.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Today is car day, but we'll talk about anything you want, including RVs. Century RV, by the way, is up north on the 119 turnoff to Longmont. They're on Frontage Road and I-25. Also in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. And they have new and used RVs, and they have a service department up north. CentryRV.com. So, let's talk. I want to see who's been holding a while here. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, tell me what's happening with your another Jeep problem. This is a 15 Jeep Wrangler. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, so I've owned my Jeep since new. It's got 70,000 miles, and the radio has been replaced 4 times on it.
Really? And obviously some of that was under warranty, right?
All of it was under warranty.
Why does it keep going?
What is out of warranty still?
when it gets replaced, why is it replaced?
So it's the craziest thing. It's the radio will just not work when it's cold, and then when it gets warmer, it'll start working. That's one problem. Second thing is I can't set the time on it. Weirdest thing. Like I put the time in there, won't change. And third thing is the wireless, the voice free doesn't work on it.
Wait, and all three problems happen with all the radios?
Yes, and I confirmed they were new radios because I had to redo my Sirius. All the serial numbers were new, and it came with new plastic. So I know they replaced it with new radios.
Now, the radios, when they are replaced, right off the bat, do they fail in those areas?
No. So they work for a while, maybe a couple months, and then they start having the same issues as all the other radios.
The same issues, the cold, the time, and what was the third one? The cold, the time, and the voice activation.
Would this be a ground issue?
Well, why would that affect he can't enter his time or he can't use voice activation? A ground on cold weather I could see, because when it's really cold, things contract, the ground could be loose. And then when it warms up, that's a stretch, but it could tighten the ground. But I don't know, man. Would that affect?
I'm just not enough of a expert on radios whatsoever.
It's really not that complicated.
Get a new set of eyes on it, though, and have Brian Gross take it.
But I mean, exactly. But why? It cannot be common to the radios. You won't have all three. Yeah, go ahead.
This has been replaced at 3 different Jeep dealers across the United States. I had it
but they're
replaced
just
in Maryland,
apart.
It can't be the radios.
Here.
It can't be the radios.
Yeah.
You could be screwed up somehow, but I hold on. Call him. Tell him we're going to get Brian Grossi on from Lakewood Auto Electrics. I like to ask Brian something on the phone.
And then they take the radio out, did it still work after they took it out? You know, the radio that took out.
Odds are there's something with the vehicle. Odds are there's something with the vehicle. You know, whether
they just
bad
replace
connection.
it. They don't even try to fix it.
Yeah, maybe it's burning pins. Who knows? But I mean, there's no TSBs about this happening.
Wait a minute. It's the same You're right. It's plugged in to the same. If it's the same fucking cradle, it's the same pins being burnt the same time at every installation. You're absolutely right. You're right, because those are pins, and therefore you would never fix it, and it would take a while for it to burn out, and those pins are shorted.
Shorted or just flat loose? Where you're getting
Tell him I think we have an answer for him too. Line 1.
So, but I just don't do radio.
But it's no, it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes they're knife connectors, which there's pins or contacts on the knife. A knife, it just slides in like the iPhone charger, right? It's a knife. I call it a blade.
Right.
Or it's
male female.
They don't do the pins. I don't think they do pins anymore, do they? They do slide-ins.
Most computers are still male-female connections.
Right, but you're talking like a plug. But if they're, no matter what,
I'm talking about individual small needle-type pins with a round connector to let us down.
Yeah, I don't think a radio is like that. That radio has a cradle.
Like those little plastic white things that just open?
No, because there's too many. Radios have like 40 pins. Like maybe 20 pins, or at the least 16, and they slide into a tray, and then when you slide it back, it connects.
On the side of the connection
in the back.
Brian's not until Monday.
Okay, but tell him we have some ideas.
Okay.
We do have some ideas. But you're right, I'm sure all they did is replace the radios. They didn't see if the old
they're not checking anything.
Somebody says, the guy who replaces says, I could use this radio.
All the other things just go aftermarket, and they have to get rid of that.
There you go. Just think of it, go to like what's the place that does the whole
car toys?
Car toys.
Yeah. Then they have to get rid of that mount or that connection.
Right. They
put that out.
See, this one didn't show me a connector view.
2015 Jeep Wrangler.
But
to the state's civil rights protections. The bill bans discrimination in public accommodations, employment, and housing. If it's signed into law,
I'm gonna get the wife tires.
I tell you what, I got Firestone tires on. God, they're the best tires I've ever.
Really?
God, dang, new tires make such a difference. And I still had all-wheel drive, but it makes such a difference.
No, it's just. I have to try those Firestone. Give them a chance.
They just.
Are they quiet though?
Yeah, in fact, it drives better than, because I used to always do Bridgestones, and it's and it always would seem to pull a little. I'm not sure if that was the tires or whatever, but I'd always go get it realigned and stuff.
Harness fan was a USB cable.
But you're right, Jeff. You stick with a mechanic or on that, you can get so much.
You develop a relationship.
Better service done, and they said, yeah, I'll take care of that. No problem.
Yeah, see, these are pin connectors.
But if you are getting a relationship with a mechanic, maybe you got a bad vehicle.
Well, no, because even if it's just going in for your PM.
Yeah.
News time, 12:03.
I think we're going to try to head down south, go to 285.
Oh, the reason, so ask them again about your daughter's Jeep Wrangler and stuff.
Oh, well, no, so she was thinking that a Jeep Wrangler is kind of what she likes. It's cute little, girls. And so she was like, I haven't even investigated if it's a good car. I said, well, ask the car guys.
Okay.
Do you ever get some come across your way?
Wranglers?
Yeah, or Renegade.
Oh, Renegade.
A little Jeep Renegade.
We sell quite a few. They haven't been out that long, but that's really a Fiat.
Oh, it is.
The Renegade?
Yeah. The little, because I did read that it's made in Italy.
Yeah,
so that would make sense.
Yeah, that's the Fiat
Yeah.
one. And I don't know. That's a better question for you.
They're going to be high maintenance. Anytime you have the Jeep name
Really?
attached to
Because
anything,
she
they're high
does.
maintenance.
Really? Yeah, because she doesn't need somebody high maintenance.
But she wants an all-wheel drive, though, right?
Yeah, little.
No, just about any manufacturer out there, you can pick somebody. They've got all-wheel drive available.
Right.
So, but yeah,
who do you think would be the best to go?
Phones are crazy today, guys.
They are. Hey, I already have a message out to Trenner. He has not answered me yet for line 4.
I can probably answer it, but that's good. Good.
So I tried, but
think ahead.
She'll have to like whatever she gets into, so I'll seldom if ever make a recommendation on what to get.
Yeah.
But I will say stay away from Nissan.
Yeah.
Stay away from Ford right now.
Okay.
And if she's not good about maintenance, then she needs to stay away from Jeep Dodge.
Okay. So Hyundai, she had a Santa Fe, a little Hyundai Santa Fe. She loved it.
Why
so
not?
maybe that.
Yeah, I love the Hyundai product and the Kia, and even Volkswagen. There's one that's
Volkswagen.
770
The Germans need to stick to know what they know how to do. Okay, make beer and
Well, maybe I'm gonna call you. Maybe I'll have you
How new or used?
Why the hell is my Wi-Fi on?
Probably used, and then maybe if something has a warranty, but she would like to.
Is our Wi-Fi not working, Dano?
Put 5,000.
Dano, is our Wi-Fi working now, right?
Okay.
What happened?
It was a termination issue.
Let me figure out which one of the years. There was a year that Volkswagen had about 4 years. They had 7 years, 70. There's no better warranty out there, even over at Honda or Kia, because Kia is only for first owner, not the second owner. But this is a 7-year, 77,000 mile warranty, and it's full. It's not a drivetrain after 50,000 miles. It's a full-fledged warranty. So, and depending on how many miles that she typically drives.
She doesn't drive that much.
Oh, she'll
Then
have
go
Working
RTD.
Huh?
Then go RTD.
There you go. Yeah. Actually, where she goes to work all the way in Littleton, she'd have a hard time finding it. It's like smack in the middle.
For what she'd pay for that 2017, she could probably get a brand new 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. Because what was that 2017 going to be?
13.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. It had 27,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow. What happened
But no, she looking at buying it.
Oh, I see.
But I wanted to get the Carfax because it doesn't add up on that.
It's like 100,000-mile warranty, and that.
Give me the VIN. I can probably pull it for you. Yeah.
But they are pin connections on this, Tom.
On a round plug, a Canon plug, or what kind of plug?
Yeah, I've got them here. They're both square plugs, male, female.
Just two plug, not a track.
There's multiple. No, it's not a track.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. If you haven't done it, do it now. If you have pain or you want help with anxiety, I don't know why it helps with anxiety, but I know it does. A wonderful lab, Panacea Life Sciences in Golden, and you can get dosing you can trust. I trust the dosage. I personally, in my opinion, find it to be as accurate as any pharmaceutical in the world. But again, you know, they are having lawsuits all over about people saying they're getting so many milligrams of CBD and they get none. But anyway, they have a scientific lab in Golden, and it's nutraceutical grade stuff, man, and you can depend on it. Finally, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Put Martino in the coupon code and get 20% off until the end of the month. All right, let's keep going. This radio sounded weird, but I think I know. Well, Jeff prompted it. Why would a radio fail 5 times or 4 times the same radio in the same vehicle? They replace it with a new one of the same kind. It fails exactly the same way. It works for a while, then it appears as if the ground goes out. Excuse me, not the ground. When it's cold, it won't play. He can't change the time and the voice activation. It all starts working in the beginning, but after a while, it stops working. I'm Tom Martino. This is a consumer show. This is what we do. We solve problems. Okay, Joe, how long does it work before it screws up the same way every time?
It's normally like a month or two.
Yeah.
Nothing much more than that.
Now, each time they do it, they simply take the old radio out and put the new one in, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is something, and really, I don't know why I didn't think about it. It's ingenious, but I wondered why. The same 3 things happen to every single radio after about a month. Why is that? Because it's not the radio, but you have a multi-pin plug in the back, and when they're plugging into your vehicle, there are 3 pins that are being affected, or 4. It could be, but it's the same pins all the time that are affected. They're either grounding out or arcing, and they're burning out a portion of the radio or rendering them invalid. So in other words, they're looking at the wrong thing. Instead of looking at the radio, they should be looking at the wiring to that plug. Because the wiring to that plug, if it's, I don't know if it's a male or female, but there are pins that control the time. There would be a pin that would control that. Like there's, for example, pins for power, pins for ground. There are pins for your voice controls, pins for your everything. And what's happening is the same 3 or 4 pins. It could be a dozen pins. It could be 1 pin common to all of those. But the same pin or pins are being burned out or are transmitting bad information to the radio every single time. But it takes a while for the radio to burn out or to fail in those areas. My question is, if they bench check those radios after pulling them out of your car, are those 3 failures still apparent, or does it come back and start working again?
I have no idea. I mean, after they replace the radio, they don't tell me if
the problem is dealers are not set up to work with vehicle electronics. So you're going to keep having the problem, Joseph, because it has to be the vehicle. It cannot be 4 radios. They do not fail exactly the same every single time. So when you're plugging the radio in, wherever that receptacle is in your car, that receptacle has wires. I don't know if they're 12 or 16 wires coming out of it, but those wires go places, and they are contaminated somehow. They are either shorting out, or they are arcing, or something is happening to them. You need to go to Lakewood Auto Electrics or somewhere like that to get it fixed. I would argue it's still under warranty since it happened when it was under warranty and they never fixed it. Is that so?
Yeah, I mean, I have all the documentation.
Yep, that's what I would do. I would argue, and you can go to a dealer if you want, but I don't know of any mechanics at all that are versed in electronics at all. They don't do it. They remove and replace. Here's the problem with removing and replacing. If the receptacle that you're plugging it into is always going to have the same defects, then the radio will manifest those defects. I think I've said it enough times. It's the plug and the wiring of your vehicle causing those radios to fail in the same exact spot every single time. So you have to talk to your dealer or make them pay when you go to Lakewood Auto Electrics and Brian Grossi. Greg, go ahead. What's on your mind, Greg?
Hi. I've got a son that recently totaled his SUV. He lives in Portland, Oregon. We got one complicating factor. He's 6'10" in height, so he's pretty big. And I'm looking, we've got about $18,000 to spend, and I'm wondering what you and your experts think would be good value in SUVs for him. I recommended to him Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, Ford Explorer, Dodge Durango,
Greg,
and he had a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
You're on the right track. Let me explain something to you. The best new car values are the worst used car values, because, like Toyota, because Toyotas are wonderful vehicles, but they're bad used car values because they don't depreciate. You can get way more in a Chevy used than you can in a Toyota used with the same mileage. You get way more for the money because people's perception is that the American cars go down in value faster. In reality, I don't think that's true, but it happens. It's a fact of life. A Toyota will stay at a high level for many years, so it's bad to buy used, great to buy new. A Suburban or a Yukon or a GMC, whatever these are, Equinox, Traverse, the crossovers or the SUVs, you get a Chevy or a Ford, they are going to be great used car values. Now, this is, of course, if you know how to buy. I'm assuming you know how to buy them. JFR does buying. Do you do buying for people in Portland, or only in Colorado?
It's a little bit more complicated, but we have shipped a car out.
But here's the deal. He's got to shop and be smart about it. But I would say you had the right recommendations. The ones that...
Are there any brands that your experts don't like that I mentioned?
Okay, as far as serviceability, I'm going to ask them. But as far as price, you do your own research, and this is the way you do it. The ones that depreciate the least are not good used car values. The ones that depreciate the most, your dollar will go farther. But he has a point. What about liking those? Name some of the really dependable American SUVs that would depreciate but still be a great vehicle.
Well, I think where he was on the Traverse or the Acadia are probably on the top of my list as far as where I would go. Anytime it comes to a Jeep or Mopar product, he mentioned the Durango, they tend to be higher maintenance, okay, whether it's small repairs or just the PM. So I would stick Ford in between the Dodge and the Chevy.
What do you think? What do you think, Rod?
On the Asian side, I like the Hondas and
But they don't depreciate a lot.
No, they don't. They don't. But they're great, solid vehicles.
They are. And by the way, if you get if you get a Hyundai that's still under warranty with about 30-something thousand miles on it, now that's a great deal.
Right.
Well, excellent. And if you get it from a Hyundai dealer that's been recertified, that warranty stays with it.
Yes.
Excellent.
So anyway, you got your marching orders. Remember, you want something that depreciates a lot. You want that because then your dollar has more power. And you want something that's dependable. And The only ones that are really not that dependable, you're saying it, Chrysler, right? Or Mopar? Why?
Yeah, they're just higher
And
maintenance.
Jeeps are, people love Jeeps, but Jeeps are overrated. Sadly overrated.
Jeep stands for just empty every pocket.
But
I like them.
I know.
I love them.
Well, people love them. That's why they sell like crazy. They sell because people love them. Corey, what's happening, Corey? By the way, we have lines open, 303-713-TALK. What's going on, Corey?
Hey, just had a quick question
Yes,
about trademark violation. So I made some transfer stickers in a logo that's loosely, a large part based on the Kansas City Chiefs logo. I'm out here in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
And
congratulations.
so,
Your city's nuts.
Yeah, I know. It is a fantastic sports town, and I actually grew up in the Denver area, but it's fantastic out here. But the big thing I've been thinking for a while is I took the logo and I incorporated the state of Kansas and the state of Missouri into the logo on two separate logos. So depending on what side of the city you're in, so Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri.
But it's a derivative work, they call that. A derivative work.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do a derivative work if what you're deriving your work from is protected.
Okay. And see, I'm not looking to make money off it. I just want to make sure that nobody else can capitalize off the logo. I'm just putting it on my vehicles and maybe some friends.
Yeah, but doing that is violating a trade. You're violating a trademark.
Even just making it for myself.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
You don't have to do it for trade for it to be a violation. Now, they may not care. You know what I mean? They may not care. Or you may present it to them. Or you might get licensed to do it. If someone has a logo and they wanted to take the logo and alter it by adding stuff to it, it's a derivative work. But all up the chain is protected. If you took two logos and put them together, obviously it's a new work, but it's a new derivative work.
Right.
So you need you need to either get permission and then protect it. And then, so that's licensing, and tell them it's for personal use. But if you got permission, then you can protect it.
Okay, because I actually know some folks that are on that are in the professional sports teams. They work for Sporting Kansas City.
Now, some of them do licensing per sale. Some of them do licensing per item, which would be really good for you because then you don't have to put out money if you don't sell a lot of them.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The situation.
On the later Jeeps, you're still getting issues though?
I got this coming up, guys. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. I love saying that because it is an ideal loan. Listen, you can get loans anywhere, but you can't get the interest rate guarantee where if rates go down over the next 2 years, they will refinance you free of charge. You have that guarantee. Every time you close, you get another 2-year guarantee. So you're practically always in a guaranteed period. Then you have the custom term loan, so you can get that lower rate but not go back to 30 years. Pick whatever term you want. They put all their approvals in writing, all of their guarantees in writing. In fact, if you get a pre-approval, it's like a cash deal. They can close you in 3 weeks or less in most cases. They just need title work and they're ready to go. That's Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. And then credit optimization. It's kind of difficult to explain because you're already approved. You're wondering, why do I need to improve my credit? To get better pricing, they can do things like have you pay down a balance by $100 or so, or have you do a correction that will make all the difference. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
So yeah, last week for us was darn near Jeep week.
Oh, which one? Was it the...
Mainly when you're getting into the Wranglers and the Saharas and from there, the Rubicons. So you see a ton of those. But, I mean, the later models with the Mercedes 8-speeds in them, we're going to see plenty of those. So the four-wheel drive systems, the electronics on those are just terrible. So, but yeah, no, when you're getting into a Mopar product, I mean, it's flat. The cost of ownership over the course of a year is going to be higher than the other two big manufacturers from just production.
That's interesting.
You know, that's why we say that Mopar stands for Moments of Power are rare.
You're cruel, man. You're cruel. Yeah. You're a hater. You're a hater.
Haters gotta hate, man.
Haters gotta hate.
Chevy's what? This Chevrolet cracks heads, eats valves, races only little electric toys.
Yeah. That Traverse is a problem child with that.
It is?
With what?
The tensioner, that something in the front always leaks on those V6s. You've never had that?
Oh, for the timing chain?
Yeah.
The timing belt?
Oh, thank you. You don't recall me doing Genesis, do you? You don't recall me doing Genesis, do you?
Did you buy it, Tom?
No, I don't. I've been in.
Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Tom, I've been in and out, so I don't remember it. It's pizza.
You shouldn't have it, but
On a
I'm
nice cold day. Come on, you gotta have at least one.
It's one slice.
There you go.
235, 55.
Just gets that hunger feeling out of there.
Yeah.
You didn't eat breakfast, did you?
I had some vegetables for breakfast. But I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. 10 pounds lighter than I was the last time.
What kind of vegetables? I've never even heard.
What did I have? Just had some broccoli. Threw a little spicy on there and.
Man, cold?
No, yeah, it was cold. Now that you think about it, when I think about it, yeah.
You're doing well.
But it's working.
There you go. You gotta do what works.
You gotta do what happens. What works? You're right.
So last night you thought a little romance was in the air until your erectile dysfunction got in the way. Maybe you tried and it didn't happen. Maybe you took a pill and it just worked okay. Or it didn't work at all. Or maybe if you're like a lot of guys, you just didn't do it. It's time to stop pretending your ED isn't a problem. It's time to make the appointment that's changed thousands of men's lives right here in the Front Range. It's time for you to call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Listen, you want the best ED solution for your individual medical situation because your health matters and because pills and herbals often don't work that well. The Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic has a variety of treatment options and they have combinations of treatments that, if you're like most men, could have it working like it hasn't worked in years. Seriously, like it hasn't worked in years. Get treated with the right treatment for you. Call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today at 720-440-7900. That's 720-440-7900. Or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Prescription products require an online physician consultation. Are only available if the physician determines the prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to 4hims.com/joy. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/joy.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
Still continuing all day, finally ending training and additional.
You want to see what his logo look like? You want to do it? They're not going to let it.
As a hiring manager, you need to.
Is it definitely the...
Well, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. You want to should I send it to you or just put it up?
Send it to me. Yeah, put it up too.
What they can do. You'll save so much time, you can take the scenic route home.
Yeah, you won't get away with that.
No way. No way.
That ain't happening. I can see where they might give him some sort of royalty for it.
I can't believe he thought he could.
Hi, Tom Martino here. GenesisTotalExteriors.com for roofing and siding and windows and gutters and painting and decks and fences and also inside. Even though it's called Genesis Total Exteriors, he'll do kitchens and baths and basement refinishes. Mark Szymanski is the owner. We know him personally. You won't go wrong with GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Now, we do have Mark Trenner on. who can give us more details on logos. Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, is our personal or intellectual property attorney, I should say. Mark, if this guy wants to use Kansas City logo, Kansas City, or any NFL logo, but he wants to alter it, he wants to take the logo and then put on it a map. Is that what he's doing?
Right, I sent you, Tom.
I got a copy of it, but basically he's not altering the actual logo, but like it's a collage. The logo with a map of Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas, in order for people to raise it with pride. So it's either Kansas City with Kansas or Kansas City with Missouri.
But I mean Kansas City as in the NFL team, right?
Yes.
That logo.
Yeah, the Kansas City Arrowhead, basically, with it's their logo. It's their Chiefs logo.
I wouldn't touch it without going through their licensing
right, exactly.
process.
Isn't it? What is a derivative work? It doesn't. If you take something and alter it, can you explain how that is?
Derivative work is actually copyright. Like if I took the Harry Potter book series and added I don't know how many books there are, 7 books. If I did an 8th book of what happened later,
can I do it?
What happened earlier? That would be a derivative work. No, you can't. You can write your own book series about a wizard boy, but it should be your own creative work. And
now,
not
what
based off of the
happens?
Harry Potter series.
Yeah, what happens if you did something like Larry Potter? You know.
So yeah, that's going to be an issue from a trademark perspective because the name Harry Potter is actually a trademark of Universal Studios for that character, and so yeah, you can't do that either.
No, if I did you hear me? I said Larry. If I did Larry Potter or Harry Snotter, something similar.
So Harry Snotter might work if it's not from a trademark perspective, but from a copyright perspective, it might work if you're making fun of.
Oh, I get. Yeah, I see.
You are allowed to make fun of it.
You are allowed to make fun.
You can make fun of it. You can.
But it's really hard to take someone else's work and then alter it.
So with trademark, it's not even considered. The term derivative work is for copyright.
Okay.
For trademarks, you don't even want to be confusingly similar is the standard.
Okay, confusingly
similar. You don't want to work with their logo at all because obviously it's going to be confusingly similar.
Okay, and so you have to get permission, and then you can
have a licensing site.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Mark Trenner, if you ever had any questions on trademarks or patents or anything like that, 720-221-3708. What's going on with Thomas? Hello, Thomas. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good. What's happening?
So, I'm assuming Mark isn't in today, or
no. He left me a voicemail because as soon as it is voicemail. As soon as the snow hit, I heard this morning on voicemail. Anyway, go ahead. What's happening with you?
So I wanted to give kudos to Hyundai, Crossroads Hyundai up in Loveland. And when that guy was asking about SUVs, for $18,000, you can pick up a Tucson or a Santa Fe, just a couple years old.
I know it.
And if he does pick it up at a dealer, it would still have a warranty. But I want to talk about my issue. I bought a 2013 used a couple years ago, and it had quite a few miles on it. I think 90,000 miles. So I'm driving down the highway about a month ago, and the engine goes out. And they had a recall on it, something with the computer, and I knew that there were some issues with that. And so I took it to the Crossroads Hyundai and told them about it, and they had 127,000 miles, so it was out of warranty there. I didn't put a warranty on it, and I bought it used. I ended up getting the new engine for free, plus a rental.
Wait a minute. Crossroads did that on their own?
Well, they went through Hyundai. But I have no idea how.
How the hell did they do that with 127,000 miles on it?
I don't know, but I'm not complaining.
That is cool, man. And so that converted you to Hyundai, I assume.
Well, I've been with Hyundai for probably 10 years, but yeah, I mean, it was just out of the blue. He said, "Well, it looks like there's an extended warranty on this engine," but I thought I didn't put it on there, and I've never heard of an extended warranty transferring to a second owner, but I wasn't going to ask any questions. So
that's unbelievable. It really is. Now we have one line to go here. An '07 Lexus 350 with control arm issues. We'll talk about that and more. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So we have lines open. If you're stuck in the snow, not snuck in the stow. If you're now I'm screwing myself up here. No, really. If you're cooped up, give us a call. 303-713-TALK.
This is Denver's Talk
Station. Yeah, NFL never would even allow that to go through.
Now, that being said, can he take his creative work and keep KC from using it? Because it was his creative work?
No, not because it's their logo. If they license it to him.
No, I'm saying, so if he presented the idea, hey, I'd like to be able to, and they said, we're not going to let you do that, and then they spun around and did it.
Well, geez, I don't even know. I think they'd have the right to alter it, yeah. Yeah, I do think
even though it wasn't their creative idea.
I think you'd have a tough time because he started with their creative. But that's a really interesting scenario.
That damn Jeff comes up with some stuff.
Well, gotta be full of.
You're just trying to cause trouble.
Gotta be full of something, man.
Thanks, Tom, for the pizza.
You know, in my estimation, there's one real estate broker. Now, he has a team that helps you and helps him keep track of deadlines and showings and all of that. But Frank Duran, the real estate man, is the man. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. You'd be a fool not to talk to him for listing your home or if you're looking to buy. Make a decision after that. I know you'll choose him. Shop around if you want, but Frank Duran, therealestateman.com is the one you'll use.
Yeah, that kid that came up and helped with that, man, he was a good guy.
He is.
Well, we came up and took it, tracked it down as far as the...
Yeah, you're right.
Imagine it's pretty valuable here. With all these electronics around here.
Yeah. There's always something, and they do it for the building, even though they or with iHeart, they're renting out the bottom 2 floors. There'll be another company, I don't know who they will be, but then iHeart will have the 3rd and 4th floor.
How many radio stations?
Tom would know.
Okay.
I don't know. There's 1, 2, 3, at least 3 AMs or 4 as KRDO's not out here though. And the FM's.
Are you nearing retirement or have you retired in the last year or two? Moving your 401k from your previous employer can lower your fees and give you access to the best opportunities the investment world has to offer. Then we can protect the 90,000 hours you
does a great job.
spent contributing to the 401k.
I think they're my favorite.
Are they?
As we're in the 5th year of the longest running bull market in
I like them.
We all know the stock market
I
doesn't
like
only
other
go
pieces
up.
too.
It's also important
Who's your
because we
favorite?
know Social Security was never intended
eat on the
to
Just I'm not a really connoisseur of food. I'm not really wasting good food on me. Is like I know bad food.
Right.
But, I don't
Yeah,
have
but why do people always do that too? You bite into something, it's just like shit. Yeah. It's like, why would I want it?
And when's the last time you ate shit?
Yeah, when did I become a poop connoisseur? What the hell?
There you go.
I'll just go ahead and eat it then.
Any insulation is beneficial, but there's one kind of insulation that tops them all. That's Rocky Mountain Ripflow foam, not the foam you see in a can.
No, but like say with Daphne's daughter, I think I would say with Hyundai and stuff, you just keep it for.
Yeah.
How old is her daughter? so she's out and doing her own thing.
I mean, get something that you like, and you got the warranty. And
you know, some cars are just fun. You don't care about maintenance and warranty, and that's Jeep. You know, they're just like Audi. I'm an Audi lover. I didn't buy it for the maintenance, and I don't care. I like it because I love German cars. That's just me. And I'll pay whatever it takes to keep it up and running, and just to own that German car. So I understand it, and I'm with you. On some cars, oh my gosh, an Audi, Volkswagen, if you don't have no maintenance, they'll nickel and dime you. And that's why most of them, when we see them at the auction, they're usually right at 48 or 50,000.
They dump them before they get to that 60, 70,000. When all of a sudden, they're leaking, so they have more holes in it than a sponge. You know.
Right.
So you're right. Like that's well, even BMWs, right? I mean,
BMW is the worst of the three German car makers. They're the worst. They're just high maintenance and I.
Like I was telling him a minute ago, the Germans need to stick to the two things they know how to do. Okay, make beer and lose war. What?
You got a little German descent going on, I'm sure. Someone in here has some German descent.
Oh, I'm German.
Oh, okay.
See, they didn't do that well either.
That came before they started making wars.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
No, I don't know.
I always get too hot wearing this piece of shit. I always get too hot. Always. This spider thing is just too fucking hot. I can go out in that weather and I don't even feel it with this on.
It's a great product.
Jesus.
That's funny because I'm back against this wall and I get cold.
It's nice in here now. It's like usually a lot colder here. I like it right now.
I forgot my pants.
You never wear pants. You're always shorts.
Do you wear shorts all the time?
Except for hunting, funerals, and weddings.
Hey, how are your feet doing?
So finally got all the feeling back to them, man.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That was terrible.
So, Clint, you met him. He doesn't know feelings. He got frostbite again.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And we got several lines open now. We've had full lines all morning. So if you have any issues, questions, complaints, you want to unload, now's the time to do it. Maybe you haven't been able to call because of work and now you're home because of the snow. Snug as a bug in a rug. Call us, 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to John about his Lexus. Okay, John, what's going on?
How you doing, Tom?
Very well. How is your Lexus?
Right.
By the way, new Lexuses, they're still in production, right, Rod? Are they still popular?
Very popular.
What is the most popular?
That RX 350.
The RX 350. What's going on with you? Which one? You have the 350, right?
Yeah, I got the ES sedan. It's a 2007, and I'm in a little dilemma. I don't know what to do.
What's going on?
I'm gonna need some control arms, and I got 217,000 miles. So
Wow.
you're talking some big money here. I don't know if I should invest the money in or just trade the damn thing in. I don't know what to do.
How many
Tom.
miles did you say you have?
217,200 miles.
It's really treated you well. I would sell it. But, that's easier said than done. I mean, John, really, you've gotten some life out of the damn thing. Did you have it from new?
No, I bought, actually the original engine, it was a one-car owner. He blew the engine up, so I got an engine out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It had 59,000 miles on it.
What do you mean he blew it up? So you bought it and then...
Yeah, and I dropped a engine in with 59,000 miles on it, and I got 120,000 on this engine right now.
But on the vehicle, 217?
Yes.
And you bought it with the intention of replacing the engine?
Yes.
You made a good deal?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's talk about that. That's what I want to know. What is your total cash into that vehicle with all major repairs?
Gosh, I would say I got the car at $8,000. So, and I probably put another I think I got probably $12,000 invested into this vehicle.
Okay, now we're talking a different story. It doesn't have as many miles. Plus, you only have 12 grand invested. How much will it cost to do those control arms?
I'm thinking the dealership is roughly, you're talking over $3,000. That's why I wanted to ask you if that price, they're talking like $750 to $800 per control arm.
Yeah, the labor time itself, they actually want you to pull the motor out of that thing. It's about 10.9 hours to do the control arms.
Okay, so.
They do yeah, that was my other question. They do got to pull the engine, huh?
Yeah.
No?
Jeff, how much would it cost at an independent shop?
He might be able to knock 20 to 25% off of that. It's not going to be tremendous.
So it's roughly going to be $3 grand, $3,500.
Yeah, probably.
So listen, now add to this $3,500. That'll make you total cash into this vehicle $15,500. Okay.
Okay.
Now your question is, what can you get for $15,500? Would it be equal to this with new control arms? Or do you have other things going? What about the transmission? You're coming up on some high numbers on that transmission.
I just had the transmission. I had a new filter, and I had it all drain flush, filter put in about a year and a half ago, and the transmission's fine.
What do you think about the transmission, guys?
Well, at that kind of mileage, you could suffer a catastrophic event at any time. But if you're not currently experiencing anything, then there's no reason to suspect you will.
Right.
What can you get for that car now? Have you sold it the way it is?
I don't know. That was my second question. What do you guys think I could get for it?
It's probably about a couple grand when you're talking about 217,000 miles on it on the retail market.
So if you can get, and then talk someone into maybe $3 grand because of the engine, if you can get $3 grand for it, ask yourself, you'd have to take that $3 grand, put it down on another vehicle. Do you have the money to get another vehicle, or do you want to take on the debt?
I'm going to take on a debt. I would probably upgrade. I would probably go with what your expert said there, that RX 350, the SUV. I really like that.
Well,
That's what I want.
For 15,000 to 17, you can definitely replace that car and move up to the RX 350 and move
with a used.
And move up to a newer year from that old 7 that you have.
So you might, you may want to call Rod because he might be able to find one for you and take this on trade. Of course, you're not going to get any magic numbers, but you'll get the real deal. And maybe a difference of about 12, maybe a difference of about 13. You might be looking at a nice used RX 350.
Okay. You think I could get something like that with, like you said, 18,000 with 50,000 miles on it or less?
I think that's about your number. If we moved you to about a 2010, 12, I think you'll be more than fine in that 50 to 70,000 miles. But remember, you're about more than half of what's on that car originally. So you're already doing good. So
yeah, you're doing pretty well. I mean, you've made money already on this thing. So you either decide to invest the $3,500 in this deal, go to an independent dealer from the referral list, referrallist.com, or go see Rod and just don't bother doing anything with it. Try to trade it or sell it, and then just get a better vehicle.
Go to my website, JFR Cars, and give me a call. And my number is 303-520-6839. Take a look at. We have a couple of Lexus. So
JFRcars.com, John. Daphne can give that to you if you didn't get it. So now we have open lines. So 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We can talk about a few that we had that I want to readdress. I have the photos of that parking lot. Then again, I'm not sure that she's showing us everything. I'm really not,
You pretty much have to have someone go out and look at it there.
Yeah, but she is saying there were no signs anywhere where not to park and where to park, but she shows up and there's a boot on the car. See, here's the problem. This new trend to put boots on cars on private property is way different than a ticket, because a ticket on private property is a collection notice. They're accusing you of not parking properly, and then you're going to dispute it, and it becomes a court case. But when it comes to a boot, you can't dispute it. It's there. You got to do something to get it off. Then I would go back after them. If truly there are no signs anywhere, I mean, how can they justify booting a car?
Well, so this is like the cheap boot that Jeff had called cut off. What is your legality of cutting this thing off?
Well, here's the way I look at it, okay? This is the way I look at it. I'm not giving you legality. I'm out in this parking lot. You immobilized my car. You didn't even give me a chance to dispute it. Not even a chance. I don't know who the hell's going to convict me on that. Destruction of personal property. They immobilized my car. You know, I mean, these people have to be challenged. The only reason they're getting away with it is because no one challenged them. This is what pisses me off about these private parking lots, these private parking tickets, these private parking boots.
Now, impact traffic.
Just keep a pair of bolt cutters or a couple of 9/16 wrenches in your car, and you can do that thing any day of the week. And by the way, I'm putting it in my trunk and I'm taking it with me.
So that's another thing. Prove it that I cut it off.
Yeah, when I got there, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Somebody else must have really wanted that thing.
Is there a sensor?
There was a couple of kids looking around saying, hey, pretty cool, where'd you get that?
They do have ones that actually they can, fancier ones they can do it.
Remote control.
Remote control. But this one here, they gave her, it's a combination lock.
That's low tech.
Yeah, but cut it off, throw it in the trunk. By the time I got to my car, I don't know, kids stole it, I don't know.
And they say, but if you've seen the ticket,
Prove
that's
otherwise.
right,
prove it.
Prove otherwise. Well, you have the ticket there, what it said, right? I gave you the, you still have that, Tom, what it actually said?
Yeah, it's over here.
Yeah, so this is what they put on there and they said on it.
So call your local Allstate agent today. Are you in good hands?
Okay.
And then there's
free second opinions. You know my feeling about them. You can never go wrong with free second opinions, because if they tell you you don't need what the first opinion told you, then they have to show you. FixMyHome.com's the website. Fix It 24/7 is the company I trust for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. So if someone tells you you need a furnace and they say you don't, then Fix It has to make it right? Or if you do need a furnace, Fix It will take $750 off. You never go wrong with free second opinions. FixMyHome.com.
somebody actually asked, Guido asked, is that really Mark, or are you taking poke at the defensive absentee co-host?
Yeah, I'd be happy to cut that thing off. I'll take it with me.
But they would have to, like, say, prove it.
I mean, if you honestly did something wrong, fine. Okay, at least you're not being towed, because they could have just as easily done that. So you can submit yourself to bowing down to it.
Right.
So, but you know, if I'm not doing anything wrong, got news for you.
I don't think I've seen one of those.
Yeah. And we warned you not to tamper with it. I didn't touch it, boys. Do you have video of me touching this thing?
Here's the two things from that.
I'd call them up. I don't know
what the hell are you talking about?
Did you put the sticker on the wrong car? Because they ain't got no boot. By the way, touch my truck again, you're going to wake up sitting right there, I'll tell you what.
Well, that's just that, is you know, so all of a sudden you have an emergency and you got a boot on there.
Uh-huh.
You know,
downtown parking lot, I'm sure, right?
This was in Thornton. Thornton at a park.
The one you guys brought over to me was just over off of Parker and Chambers.
It took you what? 15 seconds?
Man, I literally could have snapped that thing with a couple of wrenches, but Mark, when he told me about it, he wanted sparks. He wanted to make it. I can only make. I think I cut it twice just to keep the sparks going. But I only cut what, 2 links off of it.
I mean, we could have done it right there with a battery-operated one, or just like a little bolt.
You wouldn't even a couple of wrenches, you stick them in there, because that was the jankiest. Short of being plastic, you couldn't have got much cheaper freaking chain.
Yeah. Whose car was it? It was over there.
Some old lady that was going to her granddaughter's soccer game.
Oh, I see.
She called up and we went there.
She was terrified of dogs.
we had a, I can't remember the tow truck, loaded up on there, took it out, went to Jeff's shop, still is on the tow truck.
I made as many as work as I could. You need more metal.
I can't remember what would you do with that thing?
With what thing?
His boot.
You guys took it back and put it in front of the office.
In front of the office where?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do with them and stuff on these and stuff, especially remote control. And people have done that. They says, well, we couldn't find where you put it. We're charging you now for the whole boot because they have some that are remote control. You call them up, you pay them, they get theirs, and then they have remote control and it unlocks it. And then you're supposed to go take it and put it in a special place.
Wow.
That's what they say.
Wow, what a nice moneymaker that is.
I'm going to go through my block next week.
Well, that's just it. If I could start doing that and see what it gets, that's a good scam.
Yeah, call me.
Call.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then you could do that, and you could go around and you could just put a sign that "Do not park here." And just place that over there. Didn't you see that sign? That'd probably be a pretty good money maker for a couple months. So that someone got wind of it. But that was, and then here is, if they came and do it, they'd do it for $100. But they would give you the combination, and you do it for $90. So they got $10 off. They don't have to come do it. She paid them $100.
Wow.
Come and did it. She said she was only, well, it doesn't matter. She's only there an hour.
Expensive hour, right?
Something a lot more than that. Boy, have you heard of anybody getting those city boots off? Those are some boots.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So we have open lines if you want to get right through, and then we have another hour to go, 303-713-TALK, or you can call 303-MARTINO. All right, this kind of weather and cars, SUVs, crossovers. If we had to rank raw snow ability, nothing else, just raw getting through snow. I'm not talking about special options that you have to add aftermarket stuff. I'm not talking about that. Just normal, everyday production, cars, SUVs, vans, whatever. Let's go best to worst. Let's really talk about it. In this kind of weather, I'm talking specifically winter driving, nothing else. Are Jeeps, first of all, good in the snow?
Yes, they're four-wheel drive monsters. There's no two ways about it.
They're good.
Yeah, I don't commonly bang their drum, but
I'm talking about the way they're balanced, the weight to what do you call it that hits the ground ratio, the weight to the square inch that hits the ground, because there's more to it than weight per horsepower. I'm talking about this distribution to the ground.
Yeah,
is it even?
Oh, they're a fantastic four-wheel drive vehicle.
They are.
You're talking snow, mud, climbing
Now, we're
rocks.
talking, when I say Jeep, we're talking classic Jeep, what I call the Jeep.
Yeah,
we're not talking the, what do you call them?
The Cherokees?
The cars. The SUVs. I'm not talking the Jeep as opposed to the SUV Jeep. Do you mean all of them are?
The Jeep general in line, the whole line is going to be good for four-wheel drive.
But the best in snow would be the Jeep. Yes, no?
Grand Cherokee, your Ranger, Wrangler, all of those are going to be great in snow. That's what they're known for. They're known for off-roading, but they handle so well, and they have the deep tires. So
what about SUVs, other ones? What if you had to pick a car to get from here to there with an organ transplant, which one would you do?
Probably a Subaru, to tell you the honest to goodness truth.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as the way that they
but
will actually move through that snow.
Aren't Subarus small enough that you can get high-centered pretty easily if you had a big drift or a big...
Anything you can get high-centered at. But, if you look at a truck compared to a regular SUV or a crossover...
Yeah, but the heavier the vehicle, you can plow through a lot more.
Sometimes, if you're lucky, sure. But if you're looking at a truck compared to an SUV, the SUV is actually going to have better four-wheel drive capabilities simply because you have more weight inside the back end of that thing. But if you look at the general oversize size of a Subaru with their four-wheel drive capabilities, and yes, no, we don't want to be going through 3 feet of snow. It's a gosh darn good vehicle as far as a regular passenger car four-wheel drive.
How would you rank it to a Jeep in pure?
Inferior.
Okay, as far as pure snow ability.
Correct.
Right.
So, what would be up there with a Jeep? How about a Suburban or a what is the Blazer?
Tahoe, Yukon.
Tahoe, yeah.
You get the shorter wheelbase, you're a little bit better off.
Yes. So the Tahoe is one.
The Tahoe's a great one. Yes.
GMC, all of those trucks that are full size.
And the Toyota Land Cruiser. Yes. No.
Great. Yeah. Fantastic in the snow.
Great vehicle. Great vehicle.
And so if we talk about what I'm hearing mainly is the heavy, shorter wheelbase four-wheel drives. Right?
Right.
So, but you don't want the wheelbase to be so, well, there aren't that many that are dangerously small anymore, right?
No. The most dangerous part of these cars is the drivers.
But a smaller wheelbase, a heavier vehicle, and a four-wheel drive. And when we say four-wheel drive, we're not talking about any difference between four-wheel and all-wheel, right?
There is a difference between four-wheel and all-wheel.
What is the difference?
A very distinct difference. So, all-wheel, going down the road on a normal path straight, you're getting, depending on how it's set up, whether it's a front-wheel drive normally or a rear-wheel drive normally, you're getting 80% diverted to one side and 20 to the other. As slippery conditions, as you enter conditions where traction is being lost, the four-wheel drive or the all-wheel drive system will actually start diverting more power to areas where they're losing traction.
Okay, so it alters, but what about four-wheel drive?
Four-wheel drive, you're in a lock, so literally you're getting equal distribution all the way through. That's why when you do things like take turns on dry pavement, you get that puddle hubbing.
Bill, what is your quick comment on Jeeps, or I can take you and hold you over? What's going on?
Hey, Tom, that's like a CJ or a Wrangler. They may go through the snow real well, but they swap ends so easy it's not even funny.
Well, they're a short wheelbase, and they can. We were talking about raw snow ability. Stay on if you want to discuss it. John, hang on the line. We'll get to you, too. 303-713-TALK. Don't be victimized twice.
But it got him talking.
The short Wrangler's a little squirrely.
It can be. But again, the most dangerous part of a four-wheel drive is the goddamn driver. Yeah. If you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to get you out of everything.
God, I've seen them.
And slow the fuck down, because the four-wheel drive doesn't stop you.
You can't get around ice. That's the point. I don't care what you're driving, you can't get around that ice.
We were here one day, and they took a call, and this guy was absolutely livid about his Ford Explorer, all-wheel drive Ford Explorer. Because it hydroplaned, and he wanted to know how to improve the four-wheel drive so it wouldn't do it again.
You don't get it.
You've lost contact with the road, man.
Were you speeding? Was it rain? Was it ice? You don't get it. Are you only in the Centennial area? Okay, that's your only location.
Yeah, I was going to open a second location, but I had problems looking for staff to put it together.
Okay. Yeah, we got rid of our whole department because we don't have the manpower. We can't keep manpower to do the maintenance on the cars.
Finding good techs. I mean, the average age of a transmission rebuilder is 52 years old.
Average? Oh my goodness. They're just not filling that.
Nope. The industry's dying. They're going away. People aren't replacing them.
It's got to be worth them weight and gold, then.
You put up with a lot more shit than you used to, I'll tell you that.
Wow, that's interesting. They're pretty complicated. I remember when I was in high school, I don't have that detail aspect about me. In a transmission, you got to be detailed.
It's a different part of the market. There's a reason why general repair techs send their transmissions out.
But you're saying the CVT, nobody even does.
I do. I said there's very few people out there that work on the CVTs.
But don't you just replace it?
No, we build them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mean, now that being said, we can build maybe 60% of them. The rest of the time we get in there and the cost of parts is going to be so instrumental, it's cheaper to buy.
see.
So, but no, we do. Actually, what's his name? Advanced Tom over at Advanced has been sending vehicles down to me because we don't want to touch it.
Advanced what?
Advanced transmission. Tom, he's also on the list.
Oh, he's
no, hands on.
No.
No, not that. Oh, advanced. Okay.
So, but yeah, he's actually been sending work to me because he don't want to touch him.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. He's a transmission guy.
Well, now his background, he's actually not a tech. Okay, the dude knows very little about a car, so he bought the business.
He's got people working there.
He's a manager.
Yeah.
So CVT, say you do just buy a new one and stuff. Do they give you value for your core?
Of course, yes, of course, yes. So now that being said, and I've got to actually get serious about it now that we're start hitting some slow months. I'm going to be suing Nissan. Suing Nissan over that because we bought a Nissan unit. Comes with, and that's the other thing. My warranties are 2 years 24, and Nissan's 12+. But this guy was going out of state, straight out of state, so we bought a Nissan unit, so that thing that was under warranty through Nissan. The guy got up to Minnesota, I think it was, or Michigan, and unit took a crash. Nissan flat out says we don't cover warranty. Well, first they tried to fight it because we didn't use Nissan fluid. Well, there's nothing that says I have to. You didn't replace the heater. Nothing says I have to. Well, it has to be flow checked. We did flow check it, and we did the programming. So no information was given to us that said that warranty would be declined if we didn't do this. Not from the parts guy, not from the papers, nothing. And so eventually they ended up covering the transmission itself, but they did not cover the labor, and they didn't cover the heater either. They insisted we should replace it. It was working fine, guys. We flow checked it. Well, it's plugged now. Well, good. Your unit just crashed. I can tell you why. So, ultimately, I ended up paying for the labor. The customer ended up paying for the heater, and they covered the transmission. You know what? It was supposed to be a Nissan warranty. Go to any Nissan dealership. Nothing ever said that you guys aren't covering labor. You're not covering this. You're not covering that. So, yeah, I'm gonna do. Huh?
Did you have it done at a Nissan dealership?
At a Nissan dealership. Yeah, it's not like they went to Joe's chop shop.
Right. So you got to pay Nissan labor then.
Well, and that being said, the dealership themselves, because it was Nissan Powertrain fight. The dealership themselves was very nice and very easy to work with, and they gave me discounted labor rates. They charged me warranty hour, not book hour. So
they did.
Yeah, no, so they were actually they did everything they could to minimize the damage. Yeah, take a little bit of sting out of that bite, but no, I mean I'm gonna do it the way Mark has been doing it, and I'm gonna take Nissan and so get my money back. If nothing else, just to give them a black eye.
Right. Well, you have a place here to sue them in, right? They have a...
Yep, we already identified a physical presence. And I don't think Nissan even realizes they've got that presence there that creates that exposure.
How much? How much you went for?
It's only like $1,400.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not huge. It's going to cost them more to fight you than it will
they won't fight you.
Yeah, chances are they're just going to put a check in the mail.
Right.
Oh, small claims?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that with Abra, Bitcoin.
This report is sponsored by Arapahoe Basin.
And about $3,500, and it's gone. I don't know what happened to it.
It's Bitcoin?
Yeah.
That's why you don't do Bitcoin. It's some Japanese dude in his underwear in his basement that's creating this stuff.
It's gone. It's gone. With Abra. Abra's one of the one of the holders, and they're pretty strong. But they won't pick up the phone. They won't say what happened to it. They won't.
How much was it?
It was just $35. I invested $700 into it, and I went up to $3,500, and it's just gone. No explanation. Someone's gonna go to small claims court.
Yeah.
Do it and figure it out.
I tell you, I think every young person who has an issue versus just trying to blow it off, go to small claims and see how the process works. So you know what's going
even
on.
if you get kicked in the teeth.
Right. So you know what's going on. I mean, you got to have something legitimate. I mean, you just can't.
Hi, Your Honor. The neighbor's throwing his dog shit over my.
Right. But I mean, I just think just to see how the court process works, then you know what you're looking at down the road, and you really have a.
Yeah, I've got about 3 people I need to take to court right now. So, Nissan, then a signing company, failure to pay their bill.
There's another thing, you might be able to, a lot of times when you go and do it, you can ask for dates. You could try to hit them all the same day.
Yeah, no, I would most likely do that. The only reason I would think might not want to do that would be that the magistrate would be looking at it like, well, anybody else today, Mr. Vick? My daughter's in the hallway.
You get so many in a year.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about it, if you go through Denver goes right to court. Pretty much every other county
you have to go mitigation. Yeah.
What's the max now?
7,500.
Okay. Installers to win. He wants the consumer to win. Everyone's happy. That's why you get such great service. Better prices. 20.
But and here's the other thing is, like, say, you sue individuals is so hard. Trying to get someone to, you got to do the interrogatories, and if they don't fill them out, then you got to go serve them again. But for the big business, they're just gonna probably.
Yeah, because what are you going to do? Let me get a default judgment, and then I go ahead and execute it, removable property, and I go over to the dealership and I get myself a new Titan. I'll sell it and I'll give you back whatever I owe you.
You get the extra.
I'm just gonna do I'll do 75 just because of the future gains I would have made. You know, it's a gamble anyway.
Right. The judge will, and that's what the judges do.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. I urge you to check out pure, unadulterated CBD products in any form you want. You don't have to worry about what form, because the form doesn't matter. It's what you prefer. The CBD works the same no matter what form you take. It's what you prefer, chewable or a gel cap or whatever you want. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Bill had a comment on Jeeps. We were talking about, okay, what are the vehicles just best in this weather, period. This is the consumer show where we talk about everything. And we solve problems when we can, recovering millions of dollars for people. Pass the word around. 303-MARTINO is the magic number 24/7. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. When we're on the air here, you can call direct at 303-713-TALK. And we're going to get to your problems right now. How about that? Okay, so, Phil, you have a Chevy pickup and a problem with it? Go ahead, Phil. And today is car day, by the way. We have some experts with us in the studio, and we're having fun. What's going on, Phil?
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if Rolly's there or not today, but anyways, I got a 93 Chevy Silverado. I bought brand new off the showroom floor back in 93. I think I paid about $20,000 for it. But anyways, I've never had any problems with it with 93,000 miles. The heater motor went out. It would just start, and I took the heater motor out, and the squirrel cage fan was shattered. So I went to AutoZone. I looked at their motors there, and I told them I wanted a good one. I don't want something cheap, so
wait, can you just substitute? Can you just substitute a motor with that, or do you have to have an OEM?
Well, I think he's just getting the squirrel cage. Are you getting the squirrel cage itself, or are you getting the squirrel cage with the motor?
I get the squirrel cage with the motor.
Okay, but yeah, you can get aftermarket for that.
You can.
Yeah.
But it's made for that vehicle. It's not
100%.
generic.
Yeah, it's made for application.
Okay. So what happened? Did you put it in?
I put it in, and a week later, it started doing it again, making a noise and everything else, and shattered the blade again.
Okay, that's obviously
So
it's interfering with something. Something is in its way.
Nothing's in its way because
not when you're looking. Well, okay. How do you think it shattered? How do you think it shattered?
No. I don't know. I talked to somebody at O'Reilly's, and he said that he's had a lot of complaints about Murray Motors or whatever that I bought the last time. So I thought,
Listen, fan blades don't just shatter.
Well, Tom, I can pull the motor out.
Yeah.
I blew it all out.
Yeah.
There was a few leaves in there and a little debris, a little dirt. I stick my hand all the way up to where the cooler is.
Yeah.
And I kind of clean that out a little bit.
Jeff, what do you think it is? What would cause?
Nothing.
Jeff, what do you think?
Well, short of it being a defective part, I mean, there's got to be something else in there.
Yeah, but it spins. What would shatter blades
Well,
if it's just
the original,
spinning?
you know, because it's a plastic fan, I can see where the plastic got tired over time and it's cracked and it's broken.
Right.
But a brand new one.
That's what I'm getting at.
Unless
when you say shattered, Bill, are these fins just broken in several pieces, or is there one crack down it? Like, what is it?
It's shattered all the way to the shaft.
All of the entire blower cage?
That's right.
That just doesn't make sense.
So I took it back to AutoZone. He said, no problem, you got a lifetime warranty. So I picked out another one. It did the same thing. I called O'Reilly, picked up one. I picked up one of their Murray
Yeah, well, anyway,
blowers.
yeah.
It worked. It worked for about a month, and it started doing it again.
Something is interfering with it, don't you?
Or somehow there's some sort of instability inside where he just got it in there and it's allowing it to wobble or vibrate and it's breaking it apart. There's something more than meets the eye.
Well, Rolly, what I've noticed...
Rolly's not here today.
The
Rolly's not here today. You're talking to Jeff Fick, Kimmer Transmission, then we have also Rod Greer. Listen, man, but speaking of Chevy dealers, have you had anybody look at it other than you, Phil?
No, I'm kind of mechanically inclined, but I ordered a Delta this time for $139.
How much are you throwing at this altogether now?
Well, I got refunds on the other two, so
all right.
But now I paid $139 for this coming out of Michigan.
The same
Delta.
thing's going to happen.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because you didn't get to the problem yet. It's they can't. Phil, doesn't it make sense? Phil, doesn't it make sense that all those parts are not going to fail the same way? I mean, doesn't that make sense to you that it can't? That's too much of a coincidence?
That's what I'm wondering. I said, how is this happening?
Well, I'll tell you. At the risk of sounding repetitive, something is interfering with the blower. Okay, Phil. I mean, we're just going to keep going on and on. There's no answers coming from you, no answers coming from us. So you're going to continue telling me what happened, and we're going to continue saying there's interference. So until somebody actually gets it in a shop, you're going to be going through this like a bad Groundhog Day. Jeff, what would you do to diagnose it, though?
I would have to take it apart and take a look at the whole assembly. There's something there that's not meeting the eye.
That when it runs, it's
interfering. Like you say, something's interfering with it. Something's making this thing run out of true.
How can it not be interfering? But do you know how much something has to rattle to break like that? I mean, you're talking about us. I mean, those are pretty hardy cages, even if it's plastic. To rattle to a point where it's going to break apart.
Something on the truck has changed. Something's different.
Sorry, Phil. We can't do it. We're just both all going to say the same thing. You need to take it to a shop. Sometimes you just need to do that, whether you're mechanically inclined or not, and have them track it or something. I would be interested if there was something you could do with a motor. I don't know. I just don't know how you do it. John, what's going on with you? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. I just want your advice on, I had a service done. The gear oils were all changed out at a dealership, and then I was traveling out of town and down south of Wilsonburg. My rear end went out and had it towed to the Toyota dealership in Trinidad, where they discovered that the drain plug was gone.
Oh, man.
They've all admitted that the error was during the service, that the tech did not tighten that rear end drain plug.
Whether they admit it or not, I mean, it's missing a drain plug, and they were the last ones to touch it. That's right. Not like you're trying to stretch or anything. I mean, that's pretty logical. How many miles on the vehicle?
It had 38,000.
Wow.
So here's
What?
the issue, Tom.
Yeah.
Because I've made some other decisions since then. Because like I said, I was traveling. I was on my way to Houston, Texas, and Trinidad was great. They gave me a car so that I could continue my trip. It was real time sensitive. So, but I did get back to Trinidad on Thursday. I had to be back in Denver the next day for work, and my truck was not repaired. They told me that the Toyota dealership here had approved a replacement of a used rear end, and the dealership here told me that the rear end would have 20,000 miles, and the Trinidad shop said that the rear end they were getting had 89,000 miles. So because I was there without a vehicle, I ended up just buying another Tundra.
John, John, I need to ask you. So you had a Tundra this happened to. What year was the Tundra?
It was a 2017.
Was your plan after you bought the new Tundra to sell this old one when it was fixed?
No, I ended up trading it. They gave me, like I said, Trinidad was great. They actually gave me a really great deal on the Tundra. But it's like, when I got back to Denver, I went to the Toyota dealership that did the service. And it's like I told them, I said, I did not want to buy a new truck. I was happy with my old truck, and I felt like I was.
All right, so John, I don't know where we're going with the story. So finish this sentence for me. I was traveling after you did a repair. My rear end went out. I then refused to take a rear end with 91,000 miles. So I bought a new truck. Therefore, finish the sentence.
So the advice that I'm seeking, Tom, is I talked to them. I've never experienced anything like this. So the Toyota dealership that did the service, they're offering me the reimbursement for the tow. They're going to give me a refund.
What Toyota dealer did the service?
Larry Miller in Boulder.
Okay, so Larry Miller did a repair that broke down in Trinidad. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. You did not mitigate your damages, and they don't owe you anything except a good repair and some inconvenience money maybe. But a good repair, So whatever it would have taken to repair that is probably what they owe you, unless if you got full trade on that truck and they did not subtract anything from the trade value, you don't have any loss.
Okay. Well, and that's what I was asking. So
well, did they subtract? I want to know something. I mean, how kind are these guys in Trinidad? I need to know if you suffered on the trade at all.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation with Mike.
How many miles are on the truck?
38,000.
38,000. It's under warranty.
Yes, it's under warranty. But even if it wasn't under warranty, they damaged it. But sending.
Hold on. GetFoundFast.com. Go to that website. Check them out. They'll give you a free website analysis. Will only take a few minutes, but you'll learn so much about your online presence and your online viability. So many people spend so much money in marketing but have lousy websites, and they don't have any search engine optimization, but they have a lot of people lying to them. I don't care who you have. What's wrong with a second opinion? GetFoundFast.com. Okay.
But it wasn't a failure of a part due to Toyota or anything like that, so Toyota's not going to get involved.
It's not a warranty issue.
Yeah, this thing's going to be covered by Larry H. Miller. They damaged it.
This isn't warranty.
Okay.
I mean, the fenders are under warranty too, but you hit a deer, they're not going to give you a fender.
Right.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Why? I don't even understand. Why did he buy a truck?
Because he said he was in a hurry.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't change the rules. Yeah? That's how I ended up with my first son.
Good point. Jeff, come up with some good ones.
There you go. 21 years later, still paying for it.
Just because I was in a hurry.
And Larry Miller, was that the Larry Miller Toyota up north? Okay. Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Are the longest lasting solution for replacement of missing teeth. So give them a call and get your mouth back in shape just like I did. Aspenwood Dental at 303-416-3240. Again, 303-416-3240. Or check them out along with their many glowing patient reviews at aspenwooddental.com. That's aspenwooddental.com.
Online platforms are becoming increasingly hostile, trying to bully and shame us conservatives and libertarians into silence. That's why I love caucusroom.com. I'm John Caldera.
Hey, Jeff, you do a lot with your dogs there.
I do what, I'm sorry?
A lot with your dogs. Do you ever have problems with them? Or, I mean, your dog's always been pretty healthy and stuff.
Oh, as far as physical health?
Yeah.
Seldom. I mean, I don't want to, but
Mine's having skin issues.
it's usually dietary.
I gave him chicken. Chicken meat.
Well, is it a male or female? I think she wants beef, man.
Come on, man.
Sorry. It's not an allergic reaction?
Well, that's what they think. They think it's an autoimmune. When they did biopsies, now it's even worse now.
You haven't done something like bring in the essential oils and vaporizing that crap in the house or anything, have you?
I did, because it was starting to lose hair. I did put some Neosporin because I didn't want the infection.
No. I'm talking about those stuff that the women like to plug in and they vaporize the house. Those essential vaporizing things.
I don't do it. No.
Yeah.
I don't like the smelling of any of that stuff. I don't do it. No.
Did you put some Neosporin on your skin?
I put some Neosporin on it, and I didn't look it up and see if that was not good for dogs or anything.
I don't know why it wouldn't be, but hey, who knows?
Boy, oh boy. Well, we dropped $1,000 and
Like their hair's falling out and stuff? Or?
Well, they took out biopsies on it. He thought it was skin cancer. Took biopsies and they said autoimmune. They gave me the medicine, which took 4 days to get, and that was another $80. And then 3 days later, the hair started to come out of her back. So I'm going to take her into DRCC is where I've been going. They're not cheap. I don't know if you've been there before.
No, for years I've been using Dusty Plains down in Elizabeth.
You know what I heard is Larkspur's got a good one too. It's like but Elizabeth has got a. Well, that's closer to you, but Lark.
Not anymore. I'm over here in Governor's Manor area. I'm over up like Wadsworth and Bellevue.
Friends of mine got like 5 dogs and llamas and a whole bunch of animals, and they said Larkspur or Colorado Springs are both got a good one to go to. They said you go anywhere in Denver, it's just like.
Yeah, uncontrollably expensive.
But Elizabeth is good. I mean.
Yeah, Tom is a good guy. So I've always been happy. I plan on spending some time there because Tom likes to talk.
Well, as you know,
me or the dog,
right?
It's a little bit of both, but more so to you.
I've never put money into a dog before.
I've been fortunate. I mean.
Things are not always what they seem.
Yeah, I mean, short of, I had a couple dogs, I would constantly take them in for stitches when I was, because they were constantly beating each other up.
Well, that's different. I mean, that's physical injury.
Yeah, so, labs, they get the fatty licomas and whatnot, but, I generally get the first one checked out just to verify that it's benign, and then I'll leave it alone.
I know people put $5,000 in a dog and then it died.
Yeah. But you should have seen what my brother did with this cat. It was unbelievable. I mean, first of all, it's like, dude, you should let that thing die like 3 years ago. It's like Frankencat, man. What the fuck is... It's got no quality of life. It's looking at you like, please.
He hung up.
Put me down.
Yeah. Throw me out the window. Get a car.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Somebody asked Tom, why do you say you're going to solve a problem if you tell someone that they're wrong in what they want? Here's why. Ready? Because they're wrong in what they want. Now, I actually help people when I tell them the truth. I have seen thousands of cases, So I can tell you what's going to work and what's not. I'm not going to speak from a legal perspective, but I call this making connections, connecting the dots. I've said it before. We sometimes go to ridiculous extremes to connect dots. I just wanted to talk to John about this because I can break it down. John had a Toyota Tundra that was serviced at Larry Miller. Larry Miller did something wrong. Yes, it cost him damages. He broke down and had a bad rear end. I believe if he had to stay in a hotel and if he had extra expenses on his trip, they should cover them and they should then make the repair. If they wanted to put a used rear end in, nothing wrong with that if the rear end had similar mileage. They owe him a repair to the rear end. But instead, he said he used a truck. I don't even understand this. He used a truck to complete his trip and on the way back stopped at the place where he broke down in Trinidad.
And they gave him a loaner vehicle to take on his trip.
They gave him a loaner, which was wonderful. So that didn't cost him. When he stopped back at the place they gave him the loaner, they said, we're not repairing it because they wanted to put a used rear end in it with 80,000 miles. You only have 38,000. So he had to get back to Denver. And because his truck was not repaired, he bought a new one. Then he goes back to Larry H. Miller. But I failed to get out of him what he was asking. Is he asking for what? For a new truck? Was he thinking that Larry H. Miller, I didn't really want to buy this truck. They made me do it. So is he alleging that they should pay for this truck? There's no way. It's called betterment. He has a brand new truck. Now, he may have a claim if the 2017 trade had diminished value. So I was going to ask him, how much did they give you on the trade? If they gave you substantially what market value is, you sustained no loss whatsoever. Because I think that dealer gave him regular trade-in, and they're going to go after Larry Miller. That's what I think. And I think they're going to get, through the dealer network, Larry Miller to pick up the repair costs at wholesale. That's what I think's going on. So he doesn't have a loss. He has a new truck he said he didn't want. Tough. You bought it. Now, if you guys disagree with me, let me know. But I continually am amazed at people who try to connect dots in ridiculous ways. You didn't have to buy a new truck. He even said, I didn't want to. But
if they let him take the loaner down to Dallas, they'd let him take it to Denver. He could have waited for the truck to be done.
Or rented one and then popped them for the rental. Or maybe he even had rental coverage on insurance. Sean, what's happening with you? We have lines open at 303-713-TALK, and you can get right through. What's going on with you, Sean?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, bro. Long time listener.
Thank you.
Caller.
Thank you. Do you have a Toyota Tacoma?
2020.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah. I've ran into a situation. Who's our all-star mechanic on there with you today?
Jeff Vick.
Jeff Vick?
Yeah, Kimmer Transmission. No, he's pretty good. Tell me about your 2020 Toyota.
Okay, I bought it December 26th. At about a week ago, I only had 350 miles on it. I bought a StartX remote start system for it because Toyota does not come out with them unless you special order them. Plug and play, real simple. A friend of mine who has installed several of them, we got it hooked up. It failed. It activated the fuel pump, blah, blah, blah. The starter wouldn't kick. We tried it a few times, and we decided to bail on it. We removed it.
I guess what I'm confused about, you bought the truck, but you bought the system separately, and you did not have the dealer install it.
They actually don't. They have an aftermarket supplier, and you have to pay for that separately plus installation, which is around $800. I checked here the other day.
So what did you do, Sean? You bought the 2020 truck. Who supplied you the start system?
I actually got it through Amazon. Pretty good referrals. One of their higher end, dollar wise.
And so the start system cost you how much?
Actually, I got a pretty good deal on it. They owed me some money anyway. It was normally $230, $240, and I got it for $190, a little less.
But it would have cost you $230. You had some credit.
Yeah, actually, I did. They don't. Anyway, Amazon doesn't return your money. They just give you in-store credit.
Well, it depends. So you have $230. I get it. Now you have $230 spent on a starting system, and then you and a friend installed it?
That's correct.
Okay, I'm following you so far. Keep going.
Plug and play, no cutting of wires, yada, yada, yada. Pop the panel. It was a fairly simple install.
All right.
We had failure. The module did program, and then the module failed. So we bailed on that. We pulled it out, and I'm thinking, okay, it's time to quit. That's my brand new truck.
Right.
And then it wouldn't start, period. Wouldn't do anything. Came up with a charging system check. Fortunately, I have all the bells and whistles with this truck, so I called Toyota. They towed it back to Stevenson is where I got it.
Now, Sean, the best thing you could have done, I don't know what you did, but the best thing you could have done and just said it doesn't start. If you told them you were screwing with it with the automatic, what was the name of the system you bought on Amazon?
Start X, just like it sounds.
And what is it supposed to do?
It's key up the lock button on your remote unlock and 3 times, and it's supposed to remotely start your truck.
All right, so hold on. You didn't tell the dealer. I would have handled it like a normal warranty issue unless they said to me somebody was tampering with this, and then if you feel like coming straight, then you come straight with them and you pay for it. But I would have started out with a warranty claim. Did you tell them up front that you had been monkeying around?
No, I did not.
All right, then what happened then? What happened then?
Okay. I dropped it, or they got it. They called me and immediately asked me, just like this, did you try to install a security or a remote start?
All right, hold on. I'm going to come right back to you, Sean.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino. Now, Dan Kaplan.
Something got burnt out, I'm sure. Huh?
Yeah, he screwed something up.
What do you think of 2020 Tacoma? That's probably what, $60,000, $70,000 bucks?
No, my girlfriend bought a 19 Tacoma. It was 35, 36.
What did you think it was?
60,000.
42 with all the bells and whistles.
God, it's amazing how much vehicles are in general.
So the $90,000 GMC.
90,000.
GMC, diesel, crew cab, hard load. Got any blink.
Fucking 90,000.
They say you buy your first car, first house will cost the same as your last vehicle.
Well, you know, it's pretty damn close to you.
Hold on.
Well, look at it. My first house was $107.
Guys. New countertops, Art of Granite. The Art of Granite will give you a price on the phone. By the way, you can find them. TheArtofGranite.com. TheArtofGranite.com. A direct stone importer. So you get wholesale prices on all of the stone or the quartz, the granite, whatever you get. And they have all kinds. Then, once you get that, they charge you for fabrication and installation, but they do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, tear out and hallways free, and they're happy to give you a price on the phone, which is pretty darn close to the final deal. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
Yeah, my first house was $74,000, and my Duramax was $67,500.
So it's how old was your first house?
64.
Okay. So I was a little older when I bought mine.
My first house
was in California too.
Jesus. Where was I? North Carolina. Wait. Stephanie and I moved to Florida. Wait, I mean, Donna and I moved to Florida. I don't even remember. I don't remember.
Where's home?
You don't remember how much it cost, right?
Not at all.
$107,000.
Aren't you in New York? You didn't buy it?
No, I was just renting. I moved to Florida.
Okay.
I moved to Florida in 74 or 75. I moved to a little town, and I moved near Naples. I didn't buy there. Then when I moved to, my first house was in Largo, Florida, which is near St. Petersburg. I was working in Tampa. That was a nice little house, and it was in a nice little subdivision, and that was my first house. But what did I pay for? My first house, I don't know.
You know how many square feet?
Oh, I think about 1,800 maybe.
Oh, it's a pretty big, good sized house.
Well, it was Florida. That probably included the garage. It wasn't big. It wasn't big.
Right.
So if 18 is big, it might have been 6. It was just a nice single family ranch. But in Florida, they're all mostly don't have second floors. Mostly then, and the concrete block stucco they call it, CBS, and it's a nice little house. But it was not new. But I remember it was on a creek. I loved it. But man, I have no idea what I paid or what the prices were. I know that the economy was. I know that. I don't remember.
I remember being happy to get a 7.25% interest rate.
Wait, I was happy in no. In North Carolina when I moved from Florida to North Carolina and bought a house. My interest rate was 14%.
Oh, so this was like 80, 81, something like that, right?
It was 14%. It was during this time that rates, if you got a 9% home loan, you were the luckiest bastard in the world. But maybe they bought it down. It was 14. They bought it down to 12 or something. Do you remember those rates?
Oh yes, it was between Carter and Reagan.
It was terrible. Then I moved from there to Tampa. No, to Denver. Then I came straight to Denver because I came to Denver in '80s, right, late '80. So that's when the rates were still not that high, but not that low. And I bought my first house was in Aurora. It was my first track house was here because it's the only thing you could afford. It was during the first boom.
When did you come to here?
80.
Okay, so here in '85 is when after the oil thing, and you could have bought anything.
No, I know, but I came before that crash, and then I experienced that crash.
Oh, you did. They said there's people just throwing the keys in the mailbox and walking out.
I mean, I lost money, but I didn't actually lose money. But what did I do after I bought that little house? I bought a little track house in Aurora. Or was it a rental? What was my first house? No, I know what my first house in Colorado. No, I didn't buy that house. That's right. I refused to buy a tract house. I rented it. I went to the country. That was my first time when I went and bought land, and then I had a house built. But I did the general contracting. I did a story on it. That was my first Colorado house. It was be your own contractor, where I did packaged houses, where they packaged a house. It wasn't Miles Homes or that. It was this other kind. And then you paid contractors to build it. And I did a 5-part series on building your own home. I got a lot of equity in that one. But I bought...
Is that Parker?
Mm-hmm.
Or Franktown?
Yeah, and the house is still there. It's a chalet type thing. Okay. And it was in Parker. And it was when everything was... I mean, it wasn't even far from Parker, but in those days, it was like nothing was there. And there was 5 acres. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. We do have lines open, and we have plenty of time to take your calls. Don't forget now, we have Rod Greer, JFR Cars. You can find him, JFR. That's John Frank Roger, JFRcars.com. Or Kimmer Transmission, which is transmissionsdenver.com. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, when they're not here. But I'm waiting to hear where this story goes. So Sean's got a new truck, a beautiful new Tacoma. He tried to put a Start X on it that he bought on Amazon. And then when he couldn't do it, he got failures or errors. They took it off and said, let's stop. Then his truck wouldn't start at all. So he had to call the dealer. Now, when he called the dealer, he just said, hey, my truck doesn't start. They came and got it. Now they ask him, did you try to install a remote start? Is that what they asked you?
It was exactly like this. Did you try to install a security system or remote start?
And you said yes.
That threw red flags. The truck should have been factory with the security, but that's how that went. And I told this gentleman, I said, look, I'm not gonna lie to you.
By the way, that remote start's $150 that I'm seeing. Anyway, keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah. Actually, I saw that myself again this morning, Tom.
All right.
Okay. So they take it. He tells me, oh, you guys messed with a wire. It just came loose.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, no, we didn't, but okay. I goes, my truck running. Will it start? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I go, I'm thinking we blew a computer, a couple grand. And he goes, no, you guys just had a wire come loose. It's $150. It's ready. So I go down to get it the next day. I go in, I pay for it, and I talk to another gentleman there, a younger kid. And he goes, that security system that we took out. And I go, what? I go, what security system? Oh, you didn't put a security system in that? And I go, no, never even thought about it. The truck
By the way,
have one.
Sean, did it come with a security system or not?
Yes. Just the horn honking thing, don't tamper with me kind of thing,
Right. Did they remove the factory installed security system?
This is not a factory installed security system. He goes, I paid for it, and he goes, well, I left what we took out on your passenger floorboard, and I'm still kind of scratching my head, and it's snowing, and I just got off work.
So what is it? What did they remove? I'm really anxious to find out before the end of the show.
This is a nightmare. This is all crimp-on spade connectors with crimp-on eyelet ground. It has about a 1.5 by 1.5 gray module that was zip tied in it.
Well, what is it they removed? What is it?
They told me it came from some other lot, and some dealers installed this to ease of access to show the vehicle. Okay, but this kid goes, no, we don't do that here. And I keep looking at this thing. Now, keep in mind, I used to be a professional mechanic on European cars way back when.
Sean, can you do me a favor just for time's sake? Seriously, what did it turn out to be that they removed?
I have it in my hand. It's supposed to be the general manager of Stevenson said they put them in all their vehicles to keep them from being stolen. What I see here is a hack job with a bunch of 2-cent spade connectors and this little gray module. It's unbelievable. Okay, I've only got 400 miles on the truck.
But what are you upset about? Hold on, Sean. Could it be that they install them? Could it be that they install them at the dealer and are supposed to remove them when you buy the truck? I don't understand.
Well, on my way home, I plowed snow all night. And I got off at noon. On my way home, I've got my anti-collision light comes on and says it's disabled. And it's telling me my cruise control sensor needs to be cleaned.
Okay, you're having all kinds of crazy crap. Oh man, this is terrible. They screwed up your truck.
That's a buddy of mine's going, they owe you a new truck. And
well, I don't know, Sean.
But
God,
the fact is,
just because you tried to install a system, then they went ahead and removed something that was there, and now it's screwed up your truck. What I need to know is what the hell they removed. Go to another dealer and find out what it is.
You know what? That's a good idea because I've done a lot of wiring, automotive wiring, and I have never put this many spade connectors in 50 different cars. There's that many wires.
Sean, the number of wires doesn't matter. I don't know how they removed it. I don't even understand why they removed it. Right now, I understand your dilemma, though, and your frustration. All you did was try to put in a Start X system. You couldn't have screwed up. You couldn't have screwed up that much. And they went ahead looking for trouble, and they found this security system that probably came from the factory, and now they removed it.
The general manager told me at Stevenson they install these.
In every single truck.
That's what he told me. He gave me my $150 back. I asked him, I go, is this going to affect my warranty? He goes, not at all. I go, well, I've got 19 spade connectors that I would never use in any vehicle on this level. Where's the other end of these?
Yeah.
Well, go straight to the horse. If Stevenson, the one that's supposedly putting it on there, that's the first place I'd go to find out what it is.
You did go to Stevenson, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, they just ran me around. I mean, he started trying to
you
tell me
need you need to go to another Toyota dealer and have them identify that part. If that came from the factory that way, then they need to put it back. But I don't understand something, though. I can't believe that Stevenson would take the time to install something like that on every single vehicle that comes in as anti-theft.
He told me they have that many vehicles stolen, and that's why they put them in. And your mechanic's sitting there. I'm
well,
looking
hold
at
on.
12.
Can I ask you, Sean, do they normally then remove them when people buy it? What is their story? Do they remove them, or do they leave them on the truck?
I got no, first of all, I got no acknowledgement of knowledge of it being in the truck. I was not told it was removed. I was told I made the mistake with one wire. I get in my truck and I got this wad on my floor.
This is crazy.
It's insane. Brand new truck.
Wait, did you talk to the service manager there?
I talked to a service advisor. And then
they don't know what they, here's the problem. No one really knows what they did. I don't know what they did, but you need to find out, because I would be pissed off if I had a brand new truck. Now I'm getting all these error messages. Hold on.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Arapahoe Basin.
The highway. What do you think they removed?
I think it was a security system on the car, but my problem is, if it was a security, why did they put it back in the car for him to take it home? They would just take it off and put it on another car. If it's security.
Well, it was two different dealerships, I thought.
No.
Was it Stevenson that took it off?
Stevenson, he brought it back to the dealer he bought it.
Okay.
And they took it off.
But the vehicle originally came from Stevenson to the dealer he bought it from.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so.
He bought it from Stevenson and took it back to Stevenson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he said it was a different dealer.
No.
They bought it from a different
No,
dealer.
I told him he should go to a different dealer. He said that's a good idea.
And again, the security system that's on there, because he said that they put them on all the cars because.
Do you believe? I don't even believe that, by the way.
No, I mean, they
Fix it 24/7 for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. This is the message for today. Free second opinions on major repairs. This is the weather where people will try to scare you to death. You'll get a free second opinion. And if it turns out that you really do need something new as they recommended, you get $750 off a new furnace at fixmyhome.com. Now listen, if it turns out you don't need a new furnace, good. You found out with a free second opinion. Free second opinions can't lie because they have to show you what they do to help you. Like, for example, if someone says you need new and they say, no, you don't, you just need this, then this must fix it, right? Second opinions are good ideas. Fixmyhome.com.
Okay. No, I mean, they've got those boxes to disable vehicles, you know, from remotely and whatnot, and those aren't that difficult to install.
But why would they remove it if it was there, and why would they assume that was causing the trouble? He got himself in deep shit by trying to fuck with a new truck to begin with. But man, they went in and tried to.
But yeah, I've been on every vehicle that rolls through there.
Well, there is
a lot of flipping cars.
Yeah, but they'll put on the security thing on a car, so that's not. I mean, one of the dealerships we knew, they took about 4 or 5 Cadillacs and they located them all because of that module they put on the car. It wasn't the national system; it was that particular dealership.
How are they getting stolen? Somebody just come in and load them up and
don't know how they stole them. I just know they were stolen.
I mean, hell, it'd be easier just to freaking pre-install low jack on every vehicle.
Right.
And then turn around and say, by the way, you get a low jack feature that goes along with it. But then you have a vehicle that disappears.
Yeah.
Turn on low jack.
Right. I agree.
Makes you wonder if it was.
Yeah, you just raise the price of every, because if you were doing that many of them, I guarantee they'd install every one of them for $150, $175. You charge the customer $200 for it. Who's going to get low jack with this truck?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder if it's like that alcohol thing where.
Breathalyzer sort of
yeah,
deal.
you gotta kind of.
Even then, those aren't that difficult to put in.
But that's what I mean, though. It's cheap and expensive to pop in, and now you can track the car.
Yeah, but he's talking about he's got a whole mess of spaghetti sitting on his plate.
That's the part I'm having a hard time. If it belonged to them, like he said, why would they throw it back on him?
Oh, look at all those calls. Holy cow. Tom, you're going to have to... You still going to Hawaii?
Yes, I am.
It's coming up here, isn't it?
Yeah, next month.
Oh, is it next month?
Yeah.
Which island?
No, you're just dying for me to get the hell out of here, I guess.
No, I wanted to see the video. He's going to go... not for sure.
Not for sure. I want to. We'll see whether we can put it together.
He's going to hunt pigs with spears.
Oh, wow. Going raw, huh?
I think this is very exciting.
Yeah, I leave on the 19th. I'm back here on the 25th.
Do you know what island?
Oahu. Yeah, my brother lives in Oahu.
Oh. It's funny you know the big island. I would say there's more pigs on the big island. Wouldn't there be?
They think. Yeah, but literally, I mean, the pig trails aren't half a mile away from his house. You can just get into where the hunting areas are.
What?
Hey, we went to Hawaii. Never seen one pig.
I've never seen one. I've never done it twice.
Did you go off into the wilderness?
But not, you know, I don't know places where I don't know, but we still.
Does anyone know what a split system? Mitsubishi split system? Does anyone know anyone who can clean them? What does that mean? A Mitsubishi split system.
Oh, is this a semi-driver?
Tell Sean to listen to the comments. He has to go back. Listen, he has to go to another dealer. I don't know. She's not listening.
The only thing I can figure has to do with the...
No, Sean is on line 1. What's that?
Rear split differential.
Tell Sean I'm not going back to him. He needs to go to another dealer. I'm Tom Martino. Listen, Sean's going to have to go to another dealer. We have some comments on this. Why all of a sudden they would take out a system that was there? I don't know. Craig, what's your comment? Go ahead, Craig.
Tom, I've got an idea of what it might be. You know, General Motors has their OnStar systems, which if a vehicle is stolen, they can send a signal to the vehicle to disable it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get. Maybe Toyota doesn't have that feature, but Stevenson adds one to their vehicles, not so much to, you know, shut it down for the purchaser of the vehicle, but maybe they're having some vehicles stolen off.
No, I don't doubt that. But why would they leave it on there normally? And why did they remove it? Or the better question, why did they take it off?
Well, they probably are. Once the vehicle is sold to the, you know, the first owner, the original purchaser of the vehicle, that is to be removed, because at that point, you know, they don't have any right to shut down your vehicle.
I understand that, Craig, but they never removed it until he went back with another problem. Then they removed it. I think here's what I think. I think they found this thing and didn't know what it was and said, this must be the problem. He tried to put this on there. And then they came up with a story afterward that, oh, yeah, we put them on every car. I don't think they know what they did, and now they're afraid to tell them. That's what I think. I really do. Jan, what is your rant? Go ahead. Have at it.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Couple of things. I'm getting real tired of people driving around the metro area in the dark with no headlights on.
Oh, I found that ever since pot was legalized for recreation, I see it all the time.
That used to be the number one reason why officers identified DUI.
I'm telling you, I see, you know, Jan, it's funny you say that. I see that so much now, I can't believe it.
It's out of control. That and running red lights and stop signs.
I can't tell you how many times I see people doing all three of those things. The one about headlights, what the hell is that? I mean, there was a guy one time, I was driving, I came right up on him. I didn't even know he was there until I got right up on him. There were no lights on, and he had a black car.
It's dangerous.
But why is that people do that? That's what I don't understand. What is your comment on, Nick? Go ahead, Nick. Nick?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your comment?
I didn't have a comment. I just wanted to know if you have used your differential lockouts on your G500.
No, I never did.
Why? How come? You spent all that money on that thing. That's the only manufacturer that does that.
It's a G550, and I'm afraid to touch those buttons. I don't know what they do. I swear to you, Nick, I'd like to ask someone. You know, you bring that up, and I don't even know what they do. But they have like 3 different ones.
Yes, there's 3. One is for the front axle. It locks the wheels together.
Yes.
The other one's for the centerline differential, like a regular 4-wheel drive. And then the rear, the third is for the rear differential.
Well, let me ask you something. When I'm driving around normally, without pressing any of those buttons, do I have all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive?
No.
What? Are you kidding me?
I don't know how they would do it. You'd have to ask one of the car guys.
Okay, I do have to ask. Nick, thank you. I'll tell you why. I never get stuck anywhere, and I've never pressed a button. There has never been a drift or a road or something I can't drive through. And I don't drive like a maniac. It just keeps going and going and going. But I don't know what those buttons are for. Jeff,
you're an all-wheel drive vehicle, and those are actually locks. So
but the G550 does have all-wheel drive.
It does have all-wheel drive, and then when he's talking about locking them in, it's literally like a
Would it
solid
lock
axle
them?
lock them up. Yeah.
So could I do damage with that?
No.
What if I?
That's what they're there for.
But you don't lock it on the highway.
No, you don't want to lock it on the highway. That's to increase your four-wheel drive capability.
When you get stuck or something.
Correct.
Wow. All right, guys. Kimmer Transmission and 303-693-1400, Kimmer Transmission. JFR Cars, 303-520-6839. And don't forget, save all your problems for me.